And we are live. Great to have everybody on here, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday call. We're doing this on March 6th. We got a bunch of stuff coming up. Steve Fowler is in the call right now. We've got Babes in Toyland. We're doing the Babes in Toyland. We are live. Oh, one more second, guys. Sorry, gentlemen. We're doing Babes in Toyland. It's going to be March 18th. We're going to be doing it, I believe, at the Mondrian at Sky Bar, and it's going to be for animal rescue. We're going to do it's Babes in Toyland Pet Edition. So if you guys want to come to that one more time, one thing I want you guys to understand, for those of you who are new to Men of Action or new to this whole thing, I don't like when we do events and we do charity events, it's not like you have to be a part of MOA to come to the charity events. All of you are invited to charity events. Charity is a charity. We always want you guys to come to as many of those events as we can. We want you to be a part of that. So anytime we're doing something for Model Citizens Fund, anytime we're doing something for Babes in Toyland, and anytime we're doing something for Teatro also does some charity events. We want to let you guys know, hey, listen, we're not making any money off that. We just want you to come and help us support the charity. In March, we do one every year for pets. In June or July, we do one every year for the troops overseas. We're also going to do one May 20th in Miami. I don't know what the charity is yet. One year we did it for animals. One year we did it for the homeless children in Miami Beach. And then in November, late November or early December, we do one for the Midnight Mission, which is for underprivileged children. It's part of a homeless shelter. We collect toys. We collect 18-wheelers full of toys that we give to those kids at the Midnight Mission. We're also going to be doing Babes in Toyland in Nashville this year. So if you guys want to get involved, please do that. For those of you who are new to MOA, you guys know the first 4 steps of MOA. Number 1, fix your Instagram. Number 2, build your list. Number 3, find 6 events to invite people to. Well, guess what? I just gave you a bunch of events to invite people to. That's essentially what happens when you guys use our events like Babes in Toyland or Smash Global or Model Citizen Fund or Babes for Boobs or any of those other charity events that we're involved with the Shade Tree, et cetera, et cetera. These are the events that we want you guys to bring people to. Awesome. Beautiful. Now, for those of you who are new to MOA or new to this call, the first time you've ever been on this call, would you guys do me a huge favor and put a 1 in the chat? If this is your first time ever coming on one of these calls, put a 1 in the chat if you've never done this before. Zachary, Alejandro, nice. I know there's more of you guys. Put a 1 in the chat because we want to teach you how it is that we do things here in MOA. Oh, a ton of guys. Beautiful. A couple things. Number 1, when you ask your questions, we ask that you have your camera on, and then we set up like here. Let's look at Mr. Buchanan here. Do you see how he has nice lighting? You see how he looks like he's in a comfortable place? You see how the camera isn't like all discombobulated and it's all over the place? No, this is what we want you guys to look like. Believe it or not, this is a huge part in your success later on in life is your ability to be able to talk on these platforms like Zoom, like FaceTime, stuff like this. Like being able to do IG Live. The future is more internet. It's not less internet. The future actually is more social media. It's less. For those of you who are puritanical who think things are going to go back to the 1950s and we're all going to just go meet each other at the bar and shake hands and then go to church afterwards, I got bad news for you. That's not the way the world is going. This is a course. This is a program in Men of Action where we talk about status is status is status. We teach you status. We teach you networking. And we do so without using money. That's very important. We don't try to show you how to use money in order to gain favor or to persuade people. We try to show you how to do it without using money. Now, if you want to use money later, that's on you. But it's one of the misconceptions people have about my program is that you pay for stuff. No, there's no paying for anything in the program. We teach you how to get all these events for free. We teach you how to get invited to different stuff. We teach you a bunch of stuff. The only thing you're going to have to pay for are books because we do require there's 30 books that we want you to read in the course. And you have to pay for the course, obviously. And then maybe when you throw a photo shoot, maybe you got to pay for pizza. That's about it. Okay, awesome. I need guys. Now, here's the thing. For those of you who are new to the course, I want you guys to raise your hand first. Down at the bottom of your Zoom thing, you're going to see a thing that says reaction. And if you click the button that says raise hand, that means you have a question to come up. All the guys who are in MOA know that on the free Monday calls, they don't ask questions until the second hour. The first hour is for those of you who are new, who've never done this before. Don't be nervous. We're all here. We're all on the same side. We're all out here trying to help each other. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube on the Super Chat, you guys, if you leave Super Chats, I will read those Super Chats out loud. We got a couple of new guys that are in there. I'm going to put the link to the Zoom call in on YouTube so you guys can join us on there as well. Awesome. Ice, I'm pretty sure you have some questions too. If you guys have any, let me know. Also, another charity event we got coming up is on April 1st. We're going to be doing the Bunny Ball in San Diego. The Bunny Ball. It's a bunch of Playboy bunnies that are collecting bunnies for homeless children, for children at different orphanages and stuff like that. We're going to be collecting stuffed animals for underprivileged children at the Bunny Ball, April 1st in San Diego. I believe it's at the Hyatt in La Jolla. I'm not positive. You guys can look that up. Party in the USA. Awesome. So guys, Alejandro, he's already following directions. He raised his hand. Anybody else who's new, raise your hand. We like to let the newer people raise their hand first and come on. Let me also see here, right here. We got Kylie. She's here. And then Jessie. Is she here yet? No. Hold on. Is it Zoom user? No, she's not on here. When you guys see Jessie Preston, let me know when she's on here. Zachary, he raised his hand. Ben Siegfried raised his hand. Rob raised his hand. Oh, good. Beautiful. You guys are really good at following directions. That's what I love. That's what I love. Awesome. All right. So let's get a couple of things going here. All right. So here's how we're going to do this. Let's go ahead and start with Alejandro. Alejandro, man. Alejandro, I need you to turn your camera on. There we go. Alejandro, what's your question, brother?
Hey, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Cool. What's up? Nice to be here on the call with you. I actually have a question for you, and I can give you context for it as well.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first question that I have for you is, does niche matter? And the context is, I'm an artist and animator, and I work in the video game industry. My long-term goal is to start a production company, kind of similar to like Warner Brothers. And I understand that one of the tenets of your program is that status is status is status. And so does this mean that having a specific niche that you're interested in, like the entertainment industry, movies, video games, music, should determine the type of scarce content that is posted? For example, like exclusive movie screenings versus having yacht rides, or meeting gaming streamers versus meeting models? Or is all of the above the right answer?
So it is all of the above. So like, just so we're talking about this before, if you think about it from the standpoint of, if you wanted to, so let's talk about this. Hold on. Can somebody write Jessie Preston and help her get in the call? Cause she's having a hard time getting into the call. Yeah. Ty is showing a great example. So Alejandro, can you see my screen still? Hold on. Let me do this real quick. We'll show you the screen. Let me do this. Let's go here. And here, yeah, this is Ty brought up one of my favorite examples, which is this guy right here. Okay. Now, what is it that you want to accomplish? Can you tell me again, Alejandro?
So long-term goal is to start a production company in the entertainment industry.
Okay. So
yeah,
let me ask you. So the reason why we say status is status is status is because, let's just say that Logan Paul was trying to start a production company, or let's say The Rock was trying to start a production company, or let's say that some other like big celebrity, Scott Disick, was trying to start a production company. Would he have more or less of a pathway to get there than you do?
Oh, definitely more.
He would have an easier pathway to get there, right?
Yeah.
But even though these guys don't have anything to do with production companies, The Rock might, but the other guys don't, you still understand that they're going to have a easier time to do it because they have status, right?
Yeah, they could probably get their foot in the door a lot easier, with a lot less persuasion.
Correct. Okay, so let's look at Stephen Lau. Okay, Stephen Lau, leverage credit. This guy fixes your credit. Do you see that, Alejandro? Okay, so let's look at some pictures. Do you see him here fixing your credit? Look at that. You see the credit being fixed? Look, do you see how he's fixing your credit here with the shotgun? Do you see this?
Right.
You see that? All the credit that's being fixed. Look at him fixing Nicolette Shea's credit with that 8-ball. Do you see that? He's feeding her an 8-ball. LOL. Look at all the credit that's being fixed here. Do you see the fixing of the credit? All right. Do you see how he didn't niche down into credit fixing anything? He just grabbed a fucking blowtorch and did shit that was like viral on social media, and now has 1 million followers, and he makes just ass tons of money online.
Yeah, I see.
So the answer is both. The answer is actually both. The answer is you can do niche stuff, but doing stuff that makes you popular in general, man, I'm just telling you, dude, I know this guy, he's like multi-convicted felon, guy's a like total piece of trash, like really, really bad dude. Assaulted several people. I'm not going to say out loud because he'll probably sue me if I say this shit, but he's done some horrible stuff. And all of a sudden he starts throwing parties at this little mansion that he's got. He rented this this wasn't really a mansion. It was like a 6-bedroom house. He started throwing parties there. And then he had Jake Paul come to his parties. All of a sudden it didn't matter all the felonies this guy committed because he was popular. No one gave a fuck, Alejandro. Everyone started hanging out with this guy again. Okay. Right. Jordan Belfort, 15 months in prison for securities fraud. makes a movie, where he's snorting cocaine and having sex with prostitutes and taking Quaaludes, and then all of a sudden he's popular again. Because he's popular again, does anyone hate Jordan Belfort? Do you ever hear anybody say, guys, I can't believe you listened to Jordan Belfort. He robbed all those people back in 1985. Do you ever hear anyone say that, Alejandro? No, because he's popular. The thing is, you have to understand that, like, from your standpoint, you understand the efficacy of what you're doing. I will tell you that it is both things. Having a niche ability to market in your category is helpful, number one, but also having overall virality is also helpful, right? You see Grant Cardone driving in the G-Wagon with all the stuff that he's got on, right? You see Brad Lee, he did a post the other day. He was talking about Andrew Tate. Why is Brad Lee, who's like a sales coach and fucking runs Lightspeed VT, why is he talking about Andrew Tate? He's not talking about Andrew Tate because it has anything to do with his business. He's talking about Andrew Tate because it's popular. Does that make sense?
Oh,
you do to a certain extent. To get to that level, you kind of do sell out to what's popular. Okay. Now, internally, you still go to production school. You intern for a production company. You take all the steps to become the subject matter expertise. But external, like, here's the thing, right? Do you know, like, for me, hosting a podcast about evolutionary psychology, if it becomes very popular, if I want to go work for there's an NBA team that's coming to Las Vegas, I want to work for that team as an announcer. I have a better chance hosting this podcast than I do if I was just coming off the street. If someone from the team actually saw me in any capacity whatsoever. Does that make sense?
Right. So it's like you're leveraging the popularity that you have while also developing your existing skill set.
Correct. Yeah,
Gotcha.
both of those things. So there's internally, you're building the skill set. Externally, you're kind of doing what you need to do in order to get in front of as many eyeballs as possible. You guys saw I was on 2020 2 Fridays ago. ABC's 2020 interviewed me for the whole Kelsey Turner murder. There were people who were like, dude, why do you want to be associated with this murder? Nobody remembers. I've gotten hundreds of messages from people being like, dude, I'm watching you on 2020. At no point did anybody say, dude, I watch you on 2020. Now I'm going to unsubscribe from you because you actually were on the same red carpet as that girl who killed her sugar daddy. No one says that because no one gives a fuck. Again, I'm beating this dead horse, but I'm going to keep beating it. You live in a country where we elected a fucking reality TV star who had filed for bankruptcy on 3 different occasions and fucked a porn star while his wife was pregnant, and we made him president. You think anybody gives a shit? Dude, do whatever you can to get in front of as many eyeballs as you can. And that will help you grow your business. On top of it, you also need to have some expertise in what it is that you do. But I'm just telling you, man, like George Clooney, when you watch George Clooney in like Chicago Hope, or if you watch George Clooney in Dusk Till Dawn, at what point did you say that motherfucker can probably make tequila? Did any of you say that? No,
at all.
No, he's a billionaire now. He's a billionaire because he started his own tequila brand. Was it because we all thought George Clooney was great with tequila? No, it's because status is status is status. George Clooney wasn't tequila famous. He was just famous. And that's the thing I keep trying to bash in everybody's head. By the way, the same rules for status is status is status also work for attraction. It's not that you're attractive to a certain type of woman. You're just attractive. There's things that put you in that middle standard deviation of attractiveness. Shoulder to width ratio, having at least, you don't have to be super rich. By the way, the way it works for women, just this is an explanation because I get this question all the time. It's not that you have to be super, like, to a woman, honestly, the difference between a guy worth 3 mil and 5 mil is like not really, she doesn't really know the difference. Like, for most women are super transactional. The difference between 5 mil and 10 mil, she doesn't know the difference. She just knows that, like, when things come up, then you can take care of it with money. That's all she needs. Like, when we go to some place, there's a hotel room for you guys to stay in. That's all she needs to know, right? When we go to dinner, dinner's paid for. It doesn't need to be $40 million, but there's like a low end to where you can't even afford to get her an Uber, or like you can't pay your rent, or your apartment smells like shit, or whatever. There's like a low end. If you're below that line, then money becomes an issue. And then once you're above a certain line of subsistence where, like, you can pick her up and she has a good time and she feels comfortable and she's your girlfriend and you go on vacation like once or twice a year, and like things are just sort of handled. You don't have to be super rich. As long as you're somewhere in between those two strata, money isn't an issue. When you're below that strata, money becomes an issue. And when you're above that strata, it doesn't really help that much. Does that make sense? It's almost like in the NBA, a guy's 7'1", he can play center. But once he's like 7'8", that's too tall. Like, you can get like, it doesn't make any, you don't need to be any taller. Does that make sense?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. You
Right.
don't really need to bench 600 pounds to play in the NFL. If you can bench 475, you can still play in the NFL. There's like an upper limit to where once you get above that limit, it doesn't make that big of a difference. In most examples, there are a few women that like you literally have to be a billionaire for them to even speak to you, but those are not the women I'm asking you guys to go talk to anyway. I would not recommend that. But for the vast majority of women, like the middle 86% of women, that's really not going to be that big of an issue, right? So that's kind of how the money thing works. Sorry to get off track. The point I'm trying to make is going back to your initial question. You know that people who are celebrities or pseudo celebrities would have it would be most people who I know who are looking for investors for their company have a hard time getting in front of the investors than I do. Why is that? Why is that? Well, the reason why is because between TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, I get 6 million impressions a month. That's not a ton of impressions, but that's a lot more than most people get. And so for me to get in front of investors is easier because I get more impressions, not more venture capital impressions, not more fix your credit impressions, not more evolutionary psychology impressions, not more Instagram thought impressions, just impressions, period. So there needs to be two types of growth, right? It's almost like saying when you go to the gym, you can get strong to play football and you can also just get strong, right? Mm-hmm. You can get in shape to play basketball and you can also just get in shape. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you can get popular in your area, but you can also just get popular.
Just get popular.
Got it?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
That.
So I would have two strategies going at the same time. One is to show your efficacy as a production company, and the other one is just to show your popularity overall. Not popularity, but just to do things that are viral. And that's memes, sharing other people's posts, making your own original content, doing things that are controversial. You guys saw what did I post today? Did you guys see the thing I post? Richard Reeves, who used to work for the Deputy Prime Minister of the UK. He used to work at the UK Guardian and the Observer. And he's a senior fellow and a PhD at the Brookings Institute. He is on my podcast saying Andrew Tate was our fault. Did you guys see that? I posted that today. Right now, of course, that whole thing is going to be completely taken out of context. Nobody's insulting Andrew Tate. That was not the point of the whole thing. But the point of this was to go viral. Does that make sense? Mm. The point was not in context or out of context. The point was to go viral. That was it. And now, thank you. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Or if they're doing it in a way that's kind of a semi-embarrassed, quick. Could we get this over?
I
with
tried to make that
thing?
point on Dr. Phil. I was saying, like,
right.
We could not have that conversation.
Right.
Though even the conversation we were having on Dr. Phil,
right.
we could not have that at a major university without getting shouted down.
And I think I said that I am actually having that conversation at universities now, which I am. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm doing it. But I think partly I'm creating permission. I think what I'm doing.
I have like a legitimate academician on my podcast talking about Andrew Tate, viral. Don't give a fuck. What is he talking about? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Now, in this case, I do happen to give a fuck what he's talking about. And I think the discussion is very important, but there's two things going on here. There's a high level intellectual discussion and let's get clicks. Both things are happening at the same time. Rule number 4 in MOA, guys, unmute yourselves. Anybody who knows about social media. Rule number 4 in MOA is what?
Social media is fake and I'm okay with that, but the money
social media is fake and I'm okay with that because the money's real. Social media is fake and I'm okay with that because the money's real. Okay. We are social media producers. We are not social media consumers. For those of you who hate social media, what it's doing to the world, produce on social media, make cool content. Don't sit there. I caught myself the other day. I was thumbing through IG posts for like 4 or 5 minutes. And I was like, no, got to stop. I'm a social media producer. I'm not a social media consumer. Got it? Make sense?
Yeah, it does. I do have more questions, but I know there's more people online, so I can step out.
Okay, beautiful. All right, man. Awesome. Well, no, you actually, I tell you what, when we get through these questions, ask another question, Alejandro. Sound good?
Cool. Yeah, gotcha.
Zachary Anderson, what's your question?
Hey, thanks for having me on. So I'm joining MOA, and the main thing that I had wanted to do was obviously get massive amounts of dating options. I had just exited a relationship a few days ago. One of the things that you had said on the podcast with Alex on Playing with Fire is you talked about some of the mistakes that people make when they're first starting the program is like, they'll get these events and they'll start to have females come to it, but then they want to start hooking up with the females that join immediately, and it totally fucks up everything that they're trying to create. So my question to you is, obviously, you know, I'm a guy, I have high testosterone and needs, and how do I handle that side while obviously still doing it the right way with you, as in, you know, wanting to still hook up, but understanding the pitfalls of trying to hook up with people that come to my events? What advice would you give me?
Is there anybody right now who's thrown an event who wants to answer this question, who's in MOA? I would like somebody who's in MOA right now to answer this question. Anybody? If Anthony DeRico's, here we go. Go ahead.
Yeah, the female friends you make are your champions. They're like your best friends. There's nothing a girl likes more than being a matchmaker. So like when you get a female friend, those are your friends. So you see like one girl that you don't want to make friends with and you want to like maybe hook up with or whatever, you have your female friends introduce you to her. But the great thing about MOA is what the problem pickup does is, say you don't say the Bible with a girl, it's usually a dead end from pickup. With MOA, you're either friends or you're more than friends, but it's still a good connection, if that makes sense. So use your female friends that you make friends with to introduce you to other girls and set you up with girls that you want to get with.
Okay, so I would be like identifying like, okay, this is probably someone that like I'm not interested in like building a friendship, and I use them to introduce me to that person, and just kind of identifying that, yeah, if I go for her in that way, that would still cut off all the other things, but I'm okay with that because I still have this other broader circle that's around me and kind of that infrastructure, so to speak.
Yep.
Am I understanding that?
Treat them all the same. Treat them all the same.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, for now, focus on that. And
so you're going to break rapport. You're going to use the in-person skills in the program, and you're going to treat them all the same, whether it's your grandma, whether it's the nice old lady down the street, whether it's the hot girl at the party, like you're treating them all the same, right? And you're throwing out compliance loops. So the compliance is where you find out whether they're interested in you or not, whether they want to take that next step with you or not. It's when you're at the event. When you're at the event, you're asking, hey guys, like, you know, it's a little bit loud over here. Let's go to the bar. Yes. Okay, great. She said yes. That's a small compliance loop. The next one could be, hey, you know, all of us are, you know, we're going down the street to get some food afterward. We're going to go grab pizza. Oh, you want to come? Okay, great. That's a yes. She's following the compliance loops that you're throwing out back to, hey, we're going to go back home. We're going to watch some Harry Potter or whatever. Great. You want to come? Okay, great. You know what I'm saying? But you're throwing this out there to all of them. You're saying these things to all of them. The purpose of having all your friends around you is to create the pre-selection, is so that there's that pressure in there, but you're treating them all the same in that environment.
You're treating them all the same, but from what I'm understanding, there's still like a core group of females that are your specific friends and are helping you out with all of this, that you're not crossing that line with, and kind of knowing the difference between that.
Just if you're friends with a girl and if you're sleeping with her, they have nothing to do with each other.
Okay.
They're not related.
They're not related, dude. It's really hard. Again, so the problem is when you come from the pickup mindset, it's like women are a different species than us. Yeah. And we're basically trying to overcome the obstacles that they put in front of us. And we don't teach that in MOA. In MOA, we build status, and then we show so much status that generally there's no obstacles. What happens is you're in a situation, like I just showed you my birthday party, right? This is my birthday party from last year. Okay. So in my birthday party, like all the girls, like that's CJ, she threw my birthday party. The girls threw my party for me. I didn't throw this. They planned everything. Do you understand? Yeah. Okay, it wasn't like, hey, let me fuck all these girls and then they'll plan my birthday party. It wasn't like that. I was friends with them because they had come to several of my events. Because I'm going, like, in fact, the girl who hit me in the face with the cake, her and I are going to, we're going to a fucking charity event right after this. Monday's dark, right after this. Okay. That's essentially what happens. And so when you do that, you understand it's like, do I spend all my money now by gambling, or do I put my money in the bank and let it earn interest?
Right.
You understand?
Yes, because you have a solid friendships of people that really like you. And I mean, once you have that kind of rapport, it brings so many other people in. And then it has legs of its own almost. Am I getting you right?
Yeah. But what the overarching circle though is attractive women. Like dudes want to hang out with you when you're with attractive women. Unattractive women want to hang out with you when you're with attractive women. Attractive women want to hang out with you with attractive women. Poor people everyone wants to hang out with you when you're attractive women. That's not the only technique, but that's a technique we choose. We choose to show in this program because it's the hardest one. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Again, if you can bench press 300 pounds, you can bench press 200 pounds. If you can get that many girls to show up to your birthday party, when you want to throw an event full of real estate agents, it's a fucking breeze. It's a joke. You send out an email blast and you have like semi-decent social media, then that whole thing will work. What I would tell you to do, so there's two parts of here. We can try to convince you, or you can just try this. There's like 500 guys on the course who've tried this and it's worked. So what I would ask you to do is try to do the things we talk about in the course. And in that case, for at least for the next 6 months to a year, do not try to escalate with any girl. Just try to make friends and build as much compliance as you can with as many women as you can, build as many friendships with as many women as you can. And then what you want to do by the end, but step 4, remember, step 1 is fix your Instagram. Step 2 is build your list. Step 3, find 6 events to invite people to. And step 4, have 6 girls who go with you to an event. Once you do the 6 girls to go with you to an event, like, I'm not going to promise this. It's not like a guarantee, but you won't make it to 100 girls. You will have numerous girls trying to go out with you before you even get to 20. Okay. But again, because pickup doesn't teach this, because pickup doesn't understand social, no one in pickup does social circle. They say the words, but there's literally no one in pickup who does. No, maybe you could say fucking Adam Lyons did it when he was a promoter before he got into pickup. Maybe. No one in pickup actually does real social circle. They just talk about it. Right. And most of the guys like back, they don't like really like what we described. They don't really do social circle. So if you understand that, if you just try this for a while, what happens is you're actually like annoyed with all the, what's up, Joe? You're annoyed with all the people like trying to get your attention. And everywhere you go, there's just numerous girls who know where you are. So just imagine now you've gotten to the point where 100 girls in your city. You go on a date to some nice restaurant or some semi-nice restaurant, and the GM at the restaurant knows you. All the cocktail servers know you. Pretty girls at the bar know you. Everyone knows you. The girl you're with, she doesn't even cognitively realize this, but she's becoming more attracted to you. Yeah. And the explanation for this in psychology is called mate choice copying, or in sociology, it's called memetics. That's where the term comes from, where people actually are more interested in hanging out with you because they see other people interested in hanging out with you, right? Yeah. Even if you don't know Bilzerian, even if you don't like him, which I happen to know him and I happen to like him very much, even if you don't know him, seeing all these other people he associates with, don't you think it'd be a really interesting conversation to have with him? He's one of the best storytellers I've ever met. Yeah. Right. But even not knowing anything about him, you just see, wait, he's here with Tom Hardy, and here's a picture of him with Donald Trump. There's something interesting going on here. I'd like to know more. Why is the last video he posted of him with Andrew Tate? There's something going on here. I want to know more about this. He just seems like an interesting person. Does that make sense? Yeah. Here's the other thing. Some people who are diametrically opposed to my political views or my sociological views, like, dealing with the men and women, like I have some friends who are very progressive and they don't believe that there's like a fucking actual dimorphic biological difference between men and women. These happen to be women who are feminists. And when we have this discussion, it's funny. The more popular I become, the more they like me in spite of the fact that they don't agree with me. It's fucking crazy, Zach. It makes no goddamn sense at all, but for whatever reason, it works. And so that's the thing I'm trying to explain to you. The world is shallow. So we kind of, in the short term, in the interim, have to be shallow. Still go to church, still take care of your kids, still eat healthy, still get plenty of sleep, still don't cheat on your wife, still don't beat your kids, still pay your taxes, still be a good person. But while you're a good person, recognize I may have to buy that billboard like the fucking personal injury attorney, or I may have to do that post on social media that gets some attention because I understand how the game is played. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. It's how the game is played. It's almost like if you're the only offensive lineman in the NFL who never grabs the defensive player's jersey, you're going to be one of the worst offensive linemen in the NFL because they're all grabbing. They're holding on every play, right? Am I wrong? Yeah. They're holding on every fucking play. Right. But if you're the only O lineman who decides, well, I'm not going to hold, then I'm going to play pure, you're going to be a terrible offensive lineman. You're going to be out of the league pretty quickly. If you're the only guy in the Tour de France who's not taking roids, guess what? You're not going to make it in the top 20. All of them. You know what they found out when they found out that Lance Armstrong was doping? You know what they found out? The other 15 guys in the top 15, they were also doping. All of them were cheating. All of them were cheating. So the reality is social media, while it may be fake and disingenuous, especially for somebody like me who's 45 years old, I don't like that the world is like this. I don't particularly care for the world being this disingenuous and fake, but I still like to make money. I still like to get invited to cool parties. I still like to network with people who are billionaires. I still like to be successful and be able to meet an incredible woman like the girl I'm dating now. I still like to be in these high status situations where I could do this stuff. And how do I do that? By recognizing social media is fake. I'm okay with that. I'm a social media producer. I'm not a social media consumer. That's it, Zach.
Right.
Like it?
Yep.
Beautiful. I love it, man. Awesome.
Thank you.
Bring on the questions, man. Ben, what's your question, Ben?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me on here.
Of course.
Can you? Yeah, I posted in the forum about getting your ex back.
Okay.
So
I love it. Yes, and I remember this. Hey guys, all the guys in MOA who've had the ex-girlfriend questions. Let's bring this up. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. So I just want to, it's not all 100%, understood by me, but I do know, at this point, there's things going on with your head, there's things going on with your heart, and there's things going on with your hormones. So let's talk about those things and how they all kind of contribute and, affect, you being on that sort of that seesaw, roller coaster. It's, when it's fresh and raw, it's like super rough, right? And
it's rough, yeah.
And then later, like in a point like I am now, like I was nearby. I drove nearby an ex's house, just not because I was being a stalker, but it just happened to be where I was, and it was just like, all these thoughts came back, and then I was like, what's going on? What's going on here? Like, why am I getting pulled back into this thinking or feeling? Like it's been a while, so it still happens, like even later,
Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things. First off, Joe Marone is on here. He's a former U.S. Marine Corps major. He's an F-18 pilot, and he's starting a program specifically dealing with divorced men. Okay, that's the thing he's specifically going to go after. So if Joe has anything he wants to say about this, I'd be really interested to hear it. Ben, so one of the things we do in this program, because it's the Men of Action course, we don't talk in generalities. If you ever watch really, like, I don't hate these shows, but I don't think they're very educated. Like The View, Dr. Phil, Oprah Winfrey. These shows don't use science they just ask general questions, and then there's no answer to the question. Like, who cheats more, men or women? Well, men cheat more. It's about 20% of men in marriages cheat, about 13% of women. Do you notice how if you ask that question on a show, people are like, I don't know, it's men, it's women, fuck men, fuck women. Like, that's the discussion, but there's an actual answer to the question. You with me, Ben? When we stick to science, there's an answer to the question. And the only way we can stick to science is by being specific. So we don't talk in generalities. Ben, what specifically happened to you with your ex? Because the thing is, sometimes you miss your ex because you broke up with her. Sometimes you miss your ex because she broke up with you. Sometimes your ex broke up with you because you cheated. Sometimes you broke up with your ex because she cheated. What happened in your situation, Ben?
Income, that line you were just talking about. I was, I'm below that line. And so, I've been,
But Ben, the line I'm talking about is like maybe 70,000 a year. You're below that line?
Yeah, definitely.
Really? Okay. All right. So were you above the line before and then something changed?
Well, I had a job, and then, like, while I was working in that job, during the relationship, then things changed.
Okay, Ben, let me ask you.
I didn't know.
Were you married?
No.
Okay, Ben, was she just with you, or was this girl for the streets?
She was just with me. Yeah.
Okay. How'd you meet her, Ben?
What?
Huh? Hold on. What's up? Hold on.
How'd you meet her?
Actually, it was on Match.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
You met her on. Anybody else have any questions? Anybody else have any questions for Ben? I want to get to before we get to the bottom of this. Go ahead.
I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first question I would have would be, like, if we were talking to your girlfriend, what would she say that she needed you to do for her that you weren't doing?
Ben? What would your girlfriend say?
I'm just trying. That's a big question. I would say, you know, having my own place, you know, where I could, you know, give the same things that she was giving or providing for. So.
Okay, so that's what she would say. Go ahead, Joe. What's the next one?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and is there anything else? Like how are you showing up for her?
I mean, that was probably that was the one big thing, because there was one big, she invited me out to this bar that was like, you know, she said it's a hoot to go to. And so it's like, I'd never been there. And then we got there and we were having a hoot. And then there was like this other room in the bar. She asked me to go in there. I was like, oh, okay. It looks like she wants to talk. And then she brought up, you know, if you don't get your own place, you know, this is going to end. You know that, right? And I was like, oh, I mean, is that what you brought me in here for?
Well, so the thing is, just so we're clear, like you have to look at it from her standpoint. There is a lower level to where, like, she doesn't want to live in a tent. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be, it doesn't mean she's a gold digger now because, you know, she wants this. So Ben, the thing is, before we get to like how to deal with it, what could you do differently that would probably help this situation? Because just so we're clear,
well, realize at that point,
we're not going to blame your ex.
At that point,
your ex is not
right. At that point, I'd lost a job, so that was like, and then then she didn't like my living situation.
Keep going. So what are you doing now to fix that? What are we doing now to remedy that?
Oh, this is like this is back in like 2014. So
okay, so wait, but you're missing your ex from 2014, from 9 years ago?
That's what I was saying. As I just drove by her place, not because I was, you know.
So you're telling, well, hold on, Ben, this is a very important piece of information that you're just kind of leaving out here. Jesse's even rolling her eyes here. You're telling me that you dated this woman 9 years ago. You drove by her place, and then this made you miss her. Are you not dating anyone else since then? Do you have gainful employment now? What's going on?
Yeah, I have gainful employment right now. It's not the income that I want or need. It's not even. Yeah, it's just not what I need. So
why not? Okay, so Ben, what are we doing wrong here? What's going on? Are you trading time for money?
I would say I've struggled with abundance, definitely with abundance of, like,
Ben, I'm going to tell you right now. If I have two choices right here, two things I can fix. Number one, getting you over your ex, or number two, getting you the income you want. I'm going to pick number two. I don't give a fuck about number one. Okay. So let's deal with the actual issue here. The abundance problem is a problem. Abundance is internal, and it's also external. Internally, I know that if I lost everything, if MOA went away, I know enough about speaking on camera, sales, and fucking network and marketing that I could build another business. So I have abundance. Does that make sense? Yeah. I know that internally. Now, MOA is never going to fail. Fuck that. It's never going to fail. But if it did, I know I could start over. Ben, the thing is, do you feel the same way? Like, what is it that you're doing right now for a living that you don't feel like you could level up? What's going on?
I've been driving Amazon Flex, but I'm also been putting together a custom surfboard business.
Okay, a custom.
So I'm like literally I'm literally like 2 weeks.
Is that your dream?
From like,
you love custom surfboards?
Yeah, no, I love surfboard. I've been surfing since I was 10. It's a unique situation. It sort of fell in my lap, and it was like, it was just too hard to pass up. But it's not something I've been chasing after. I'll put it that way.
So here's the problem, right? I have a lot of dreams too, right? I want to buy a big fucking farm and then have a bunch of rescued animals on it. The thing is, right now, that can't be my priority. My priority has to be to get to where I need to get financially first, and then I go after my dream. I got to be honest with you, Ben. I don't think making custom surfboards, the markup on that or the scalability is high enough to get you into the 8-figure club. Am I wrong?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. So do you understand how maybe, I'm not saying don't chase, like at some point chase your dream, but like, I don't think making custom surfboard is solving a big enough problem. And then look at what else is happening to you in your life. You're complaining about the money you make and you're missing your ex. I promise you, Ben, if you had 8 figures in your account, you
trust me. I wouldn't take her back.
Right. I understand that. But you also came on a call right now, and we're on YouTube, where you're talking about your ex. So it obviously meant something to you. Like, you're making Jesse's brain hurt right now. Yeah, yeah, unmute yourself, Don.
Well, honestly, I thought we would talk about like what happens, like,
yes, no, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Are you missing your ex or are you missing company? Because it's been a long time.
I'm missing company.
For it to come up now. Yeah. So it's not your ex. This is not an issue about what do I do to stop missing my ex. The issue is I miss being in a relationship or having company of a woman, and I need to fix what's going on that's preventing me from having that. Because if you wouldn't take her back, if it's a hard no for you, then saying that you miss her, yeah, you might miss someone that was toxic or someone that wasn't good for you or something that, ended against your own wanting. But right now, the issue at hand is more about you needing companionship and wanting to have someone. And it's not just going to be a her problem. If financially you can't provide, if there was an emergency or something were to happen and she couldn't work or whatever, if you can't provide, this is not just going to be a her thing. It's going to be all the women moving forward. Not every woman is superficial. Not every woman requires a certain pay for her man, but I do, even like the most basic needs, I do need and require that my man be able to provide if something were to happen.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Ben, so what's my question is, Ben, it's been 9 years. We haven't leveled up in 9 years. Nothing.
Not,
Ben, do you understand
not where I want to be. No.
Okay, Ben. So can we discuss this? Because I want to discuss this before we get to the problem, because your problem is a symptom. It's not the actual problem. Jesse's closer to the actual problem. So here's the thing. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Ben, have you discussed things like copywriting, high ticket sales? Have you looked into Amazon, maybe even like Amazon FBA, flipping houses? There's a myriad of other things that you can probably do. Also, when you're driving for Amazon, what are you listening to?
Occasionally I listen to the Rational Mail.
Okay, so let's listen to the Rational Mail like once or twice, but we need to have, if I'm driving, like a great way to level up right now, if you're a young kid, go drive for not for Uber, but like Uber Eats, where you can listen with the food because the food doesn't talk to you, some kind of delivery service. And let's listen to audiobooks at double and triple speed that build our business. The $100 million Offer by Alex Hormozi, Traffic Secrets by Alex Brunson, Spin Selling, Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. Could we do that instead, Ben? Do you understand?
Yeah, I was listening to Grant Cardone on the School of Greatness.
That's great. Grant is one of them, but let's get through all of them. Ben, can we do 40, 50, 60 books in a year? Can we do that?
I've never read that many, but
you can, Ben, because you drive for a living, Ben. You absolutely can. Turn the goddamn music off. Just level up. Ben, if you had a fire in your ass to level up, you wouldn't give a fuck about this woman.
No, I don't care about her, but I mean, the sentimentality came back, and that's. Anyways.
Okay, but you have mentioned to me before that you're not making the money that you want to make. That is the bigger problem than missing a girl. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you understand that's the bigger problem?
That is the bigger problem. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what do we do to level that part of our life up? There's so many different things we could discuss to help you level that part up. There's so much free information out there on YouTube, and there's so many successful people that can mentor you to get to that point. Let me ask you another question, Ben, because I think I know the answer to this. Have you ever got your levels checked, Ben? Have you ever got your levels checked?
A couple of years ago. But
okay, do you remember what your total test was, Ben?
It was normal. It was a little above normal.
Ben, what is above normally? Because if you talk to an endocrinologist, above 200 is normal.
I don't remember. If you talk to an endocrinologist, above 200 is normal. If you want to put your dick in your girlfriend, above 700 is normal. You don't remember where you were, Ben? I don't remember the number. No, it was like.
Okay, Ben, so here's the next thing I would like for you to do. I would like for you to go to a TRT clinic and get your estrogen and testosterone levels checked.
Yeah, no, I've been meaning to get a physical exam.
I don't need you to get a physical exam. I don't need you to go to an endocrinologist, and I don't need you to go to a general physician. I need you to go to a fucking TRT clinic, bro, and then get your testosterone and estrogen levels checked.
Yeah, but they do a better panel, don't they?
Yes, because when you go to an endocrinologist, they don't care that you have high estrogen. They don't see that as a problem. but a TRT doctor does. An endocrinologist wants you to not get prostate cancer. A TRT clinic wants you to have muscles and a hard dick. Do you understand the difference?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just so we're clear, an endocrinologist, if your total test is in the 200s, they don't give a fuck. A TRT doctor is going to get you around 700-800, where you were when you were 19 years old, and you are ready to fuck up the world after that. I'm 45 years old, Ben. I want to go out there and hoop right now. I don't give a fuck. I will go lift weights. I will be sick and I'll be out there lifting weights. I don't give a fuck, Ben, because I got my levels checked. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Ben, can you tell that I have a fire in my ass to be successful? And maybe you don't sound like you do? Can you witness any of that personally?
Literally, I was about to say that. I was going to say, please don't be offended by me saying this because I don't know you at all. But as an outsider listening to this 5-minute conversation, it sounds like a lot of excuses. And trust me, if anybody knows what it's like to be on top and get knocked down to the rock bottom and then have to try and climb back up top, it's not always easy and it's not always fun and it sucks. And sometimes there will be lows. But the excuses just to keep going. And it's just, you need to power through it. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. If it's important enough to you, you will power through it. And that's just how you have to frame it in your head. Everything else has to fall at wayside and say, this one specific thing is so important. I'm going to focus all of it on this right now. So I think starting, like Michael said, getting checked, just making sure that your levels are where you need to be. That will also help provide whatever explanation is also keeping you in the lag and in the excuses and in the kind of like stagnant. No.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Ben, you need a fire in your ass, Ben.
I've been working 6 days a week doing what I'm doing. I work in the morning.
Something that doesn't work for you.
Yeah, you're working at 6 days a week. That's not working, Ben.
Right.
You understand? I was a U.S. military officer. Then I got out and I got into finance, and then I pivoted so that I don't exchange time for money anymore. You see, there's 1,000 people thousands of people are gonna watch us on YouTube right now. I'm gonna build my coaching client base. Do you understand? I have a scalable job.
It's like you're trying to sell ice to someone that lives in an igloo and you're wondering why it's not working. And then you're trying to sell more ice. Like, let me sell more of it. Let me do it more often. It's not going to keep working. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I know it's not going to keep working. I've lately felt trapped in what I've been doing, but at the same time, I'm also, pivoting, which is something I can pivot to, which is selling custom surfboards. That's something that I can do part-time. I mean, even if I'm selling, a few a month, then that's a better return than Amazon Flex.
But Ben, you're not
have more time to do work
you're not
on other
scaling
things.
your life though, Ben. Like the problem, you're not scaling. Here's the problem, right? Here's the ultimate problem. Yeah. I know fuck all about surfboards, and you're talking to a Playboy centerfold, Jesse, who doesn't know fuck all about surfboards. And we'd have an easier time selling custom surfboards than you would, because we went and leveled up the rest of our life. Do you understand? Networking, getting in the fucking gym, fixing your social media. Do you understand, Ben? Okay. Yeah. The point is abundance. That is the point, Ben. It's like, you're going to keep struggling. Right now you're in the low level of employment. It's called exchanging time for money. Even if you own your own business, you're exchanging time for money. When you have a scalable business, you stop exchanging time for money. You have more free time and you make more money. You work fewer hours and you make more money. Ben, you're old enough and you've been doing this long enough to know to pivot. And there's too much free goddamn shit out there for you to worry about it. Love Grant Cardone. I might pivot from Grant Cardone to something a little bit more practical, like Alex Hormozi. Okay. I might pivot to something a little bit more practical, like sales. I might pivot to something a little bit more practical. That's the only thing I'm saying. I love Alex. I love Grant Cardone. I love Tony Robbins. They don't really give you practical things to do. These guys over here do. Okay. Like Cole Gordon, Nick Cosmo. These guys give you practical shit to do. Dan Fleischman. These might be the people I follow.
They're all in the book list that you've created.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. E-Myth Revisited.
Sitting down to read is like too time consuming for you. Do the audiobooks and listen to it while you're cooking, while you're showering, and you can get through them so much faster that way.
Ben, we say this because in Men of Action, like we're about solving the actual problem. Like this isn't therapy. Like we answering your question about how to process your feelings and how to like, oh, how should I look at that situation differently of you driving by your ex's house? It's like, no, like let's come up with an actual solution to the problem so you don't ever have these feelings like ever again. You know what I'm saying? Because like you can sit in front of, you can pay someone to sit down in their office for an hour and like process your feelings, and you're going to come out and you're just going to be right in the same situation that you were in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Side note, why is Kaylee?
Yeah, I'm brand new to this. I don't even know what to expect with this. I came on with like a, thinking that you wanted me you asked me to bring this.
I love it, Ben. Ben, we are so.
You asked me to ask this question.
Yeah, and we're happy, Ben.
I thought like, oh great, I didn't know what this Zoom call was even going to be about. So I thought you wanted to talk about.
Are you feeling attacked right now? Is that what the feeling is? Do you feel attacked?
I'm telling what did you just hear what did you just hear what I said?
Yeah, we heard what you said.
I had this one perception from the post that I created.
Yeah.
Mike said, that's a great question. Ask it in. And so I don't even know what to expect from these Zoom calls. Like this is the first time I've been here. So I don't know what, like what MOA is about. I don't know. So I'm just listening.
Okay. So I'm
listening very carefully. I'm trying to absorb and listen.
Beautiful.
You guys are sitting there trying to tell me, hey,
Ben,
you don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life.
Right. Well, that's what we want to know.
Sit there and tell me I don't have a fire under my ass. You don't know what I'm doing.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure
out. We're in defensive mode right now.
You don't know a thing about me.
What we're trying to do is give you an outsider's perspective based off of the very little information that you have given us. I just joined the call, not even 10 minutes ago. I have no idea what was pre-discussed before me getting on here. But getting defensive doesn't help any of the information being given to you absorb. So just understand that we only know this much, just like you said. We don't know. What you are telling us and what you are conveying to us is pieces. So what we're telling you is pieces to that.
I just explained what I came on this call with. Okay. And I was anticipating maybe one thing, but this has gone this.
Yeah, well, because we have to deal with the underlying issue. Now let's deal with the specific thing about the breakup. So if I walk around on the beach, and I got some sand in my hand, all right, they got some sand. And then Anthony DeRico, who was just talking to you, Anthony comes up and knocks the sand out of my hand. How pissed off am I going to be that I just lost my sand? I'm standing on a beach. Am I going to be upset?
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't.
No, why would I not be upset about losing sand when I'm standing on the beach?
Because you can pick up more sand.
Because there's sand everywhere, right?
Yeah,
there's sand everywhere, right? It's abundance,
man.
It's an example of abundance, right?
Yeah.
So the missing of the girlfriend, we can walk through the feelings of it, right? So what happens is we had dopamine receptors. All of a sudden, we had neural pathways where we were used to being with that person. Those neural pathways have now been interrupted because we're not with them anymore. That's an evolutionary adaptation.
Okay, let me interrupt you real quick. This is what I thought was going to be the response when I got on this call. So
sure,
carry on.
But the problem is me explaining this doesn't fix anything. I'm going to explain it to you, but it's not going to fix anything. I am a former U.S. military officer. When the plane is on fire, we fix the problem. We don't talk about our feelings about the plane being on. Literally, I've been in 4 airplanes that were on fire. We don't talk about how we feel about the plane being on fire. We fix the problem. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I call men of action. So now here's the thing. Now you have these feelings and they're very hard to get over. The answer is always going to be the same answer though. To get over your ex, you need to see more women. To get your ex back, you need to see more women. To level up as far as your abundance, you need to make more money. To get better financially, you need to make more money. To become a subject matter expertise, you need to make more money. The answer is always more and better. The answer is always abundance. That is the solution. From an endocrinology,
100% agree. Yeah, totally understand that. That's what I'm working on.
Well, here's the other thing that'll happen is you'll see this a lot of times when women are on hormonal birth control. It raises their estrogen levels and they start acting a little bit wild, a little bit crazy because that happens. Or you'll also see this with women who are pregnant. They overreact or they jump to conclusions. Why does that happen? Is because estrogen levels are high. Guess what happens to men as they get older? Their testosterone levels go down and their body fat percentage goes up. Guess what happens to their estrogen levels?
goes up, increases.
It goes up. Okay, so now what happens is this thing that would normally not affect a high testosterone stoic male is all of a sudden affecting somebody who does not have high testosterone. One of the things that testosterone does is that when I get hit, when I play linebacker and I get hit, it doesn't affect me emotionally. I'm just focused on finishing the problem. I'm focusing on tackling the running back. Nothing else. The pain, I shut out the pain. It's just focus. Testosterone is not about aggression. Testosterone is about assertiveness. And that's the thing. When you lose it as you get older, and also as your body fat aromatizes testosterone and turns it into estrogen, you become more emotional. And now little things little stimulus around you starts distracting you. This is what happens when estrogen levels go up and testosterone levels go down. That's why I was asking you before about your levels. If you get that fixed, you're going to notice focused. That's what starts happening. When you focus on your money, you won't even remember her name. You won't even remember her name. That's the actual solution to the problem. But what you're dealing with emotionally, like, of course, we all deal with that because you lost it. But I promise you, Ben, if you were dating someone right now who fulfilled what you wanted as far as loneliness and as far as companionship, you wouldn't have missed her. You see what I'm saying? Because there'd be more sand around you. You wouldn't miss that piece of sand because there'd be more sand around you.
Oh yeah, there's definitely need more abundance. I mean,
right. So the initial thing we were talking about, it was your endocrinology, your endocrine system and your income. Those were the two things we wanted to fix so that you would have that abundance. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I intuitively, I don't know what my levels are, but you know, it's like about 2 years ago, I was totally inconsistent in working out.
Yeah.
And ever since coming across, Rola's book and Rule Zero and all the other characters that your friends, I've been working out consistently.
Good. I was about to say, you know what Rolo is right now? He's underneath a squat.
And my health and well-beingness has gone up.
Okay.
A lot. Happiness
Beautiful.
levels go. You know, it's the more that I work out, the happier that I get.
Yeah.
Well,
here's the other thing,
you gotta
Ben.
give yourself a rest.
The other thing, Ben, once you're making $200K a year and she wants you back, don't take her back. You got to move on. She's for the streets.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, totally.
Got it?
Totally.
Okay,
oh,
Ben.
Totally not.
So Ben, can you do this for me?
Do
Can you go on the free? Can you go on to school in the free MOA forum? And there's a book list. If you just look under the category that says books, YouTube videos, and books, go on there in the book list. There's 30 books. I'd recommend you get through all of them while you're sitting there driving for Amazon. It won't even take you 6 months. If you do it fast, it'll take you about a year if you do it a little slower. I promise you those books will change your life.
Yeah, I looked at that list, and I will start taking them up on Audible.
Okay, love it, man.
All right,
love it, awesome. Thanks, thank you for the question, man. I appreciate you asking.
You're
Miguel, what's
welcome.
your question?
Yeah, thank you,
Miguel. What's your question? Miguel Hernandez is here. Here we go. We got the axe murder. We got the axe murderer. Fucking the fucking lights. We gotta get some lights, Miguel.
Hey, I got you. I was in my car. Hey man, yep. I just want to say thank you. So we spoke before.
Yep. You're in San Antonio or Houston? I forgot.
I'm in New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans. That's right.
Yeah. So you told me about the photography and stuff. So I know all the places where to go. Treehouse. And I found out this guy named Larry Morrow. He's like the man you said to find out who's the man in your city. And he knows like all the girls and stuff. So I'm in college. I'm trying to figure out, you said to have like 6 female friends, like the 4 horses. So how can I like find them? Because I know like a few at my school that's good to go down to the club. But I need like a few more to like on command to come with me.
Yeah, so it's not like on command to come with you. It's not like that. You just have to, like that. Have you ever played 5-on-5 basketball with your friends?
Like that.
Miguel, can you hear me?
Say that one more time.
You got some of that third word internet. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you say it one?
Yeah, I can barely hear you. Okay, so what's going on here is if I go play 5-on-5 basketball with my friends and I invite them to come hoop with me, they have their own agency to say yes or no. That's what your friendship is like with your females. They don't come on command. It's not like that. What happens though is you create enough FOMO and enough you know, in the area that they want to come. Does that make sense?
Right. That makes sense.
Right.
So,
You've done you throw their birthday party, they throw yours.
Okay, so I'm in college. So how can I create that form, or how can I create that kind of environment to where all like some other high stakes? I'm in college.
Yeah, Ben. So have you fixed your Instagram?
Yes. It's basically just pictures of me. It's better pictures of me. So I got like almost 100 followers, and it's all right. I did a couple reels, but you know.
I'm trying to find you. Here we go. Let's find you. Okay. Miguel Hernandez is here. All right, cool. So Miguel, you have not fixed your Instagram. You aren't even 1% of the way there. So there's a list of Instagrams that are on the MOA forum server, and that list of Instagrams will show you what you're supposed to look like. Okay. So this is not it. Okay. We're started off looking at a hand. So that's incorrect. Okay. This one right here, when you have homework, which you don't want to have time to focus, this is taking too long to light up. This photo is not showing access to scarce resources. It's not showing higher status. It makes it look like you live in Section 8 housing, and it's way too fucking close up. Okay. All right. That's the next thing right here. This photo is decent. This photo, I give you a 4.5 out of 10. You should have backed up a little bit more with this. This photo makes no sense at all. Okay. This, again, I'm way too close and I'm looking at fucking trees behind you. None of these are even 1% of the way there, dude. No, you have not fixed your Instagram. You have not even gone 1% of the way to fix your Instagram. Okay. You with me?
Okay.
I would literally archive every single photo you have on there.
I would get rid of all the stuff you have on there. Yeah. None of that is acceptable, dude. Nothing. Ready? Here we go. We're in Men of Action Forum. You have access to this. It's free. Okay. You do have access to this. We're going to go down here to filters, and we're going to click the one that's social media. We're going to click the social media filter. When we go to the social media filter, the first thing that pops up are Instagram testimonials. And we're going to go here and we're going to look at somebody who's doing a better job at this than you are. So do you see my screen? Do you see, is Instagram popping up on my screen? Do you see it?
I see it.
Okay. Do you see how much better these photos are than yours?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
This isn't Godwin's an extreme example, to be honest with you. Let's do one that's not so extreme. Let's look at Shanka right here, okay? So this is one that's like not a ton of girls in it. Do you see? Okay, notice how big you are in your photos, and then behind you, I'm looking at like rusty gates. Do you see the difference with this photo and yours?
Yeah, it's the background.
It's the background, dude. Your background is like you aren't even 1% of the way there. Miguel, no one who looks at your IG feels any kind of FOMO. But when people look at Shanka's, they do. People are like, hey, you know what? I kind of want to be, I don't know what anything about Shanka, but I kind of like to wear, he's looking for a new place to get tacos. That's a pretty cool fucking photo. You see what I'm saying? That photo took some planning. Hey, look, Miguel, look how close you are in your photos. Now look at fucking Shanka in this photo.
Shanka looks like someone I want to go on vacation with and hang out with, because it looks like he does fun things and he's involved in things that I also would be interested in.
Does that make sense, Miguel?
That makes sense.
So you need to fix this. We aren't even 1% of the way to this. Okay.
I got you.
Do you know a beautiful city that has a lot of places to take awesome Instagram photos? It's called New Orleans. It's called fucking New Orleans, dude.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, I've been saving up for like a photographer. I know.
Okay, so let's stop that.
You don't even have to do that.
You're not going to save up for a photographer. You're going to use your fucking phone. Those photos you just showed, most of them are taken with a phone, dude. No saving up for a photographer.
Michael,
you're going to take go ahead.
Can you pull up Deshaun's page?
Let's do it. Deshaun's perfect.
This is going to be strictly something very simple for me to explain. Deshaun has the perfect amount of fun things in his profile. He's good looking. He shows that he's interested in things. He has hobbies. And all of these photos were taken on an iPhone. Every single one of these photos I took on an iPhone. You can do the exact same thing I did for him by taking these photos. You can do that literally with a tripod.
Are you looking at this, man?
Yeah, I can see it.
There's no saving up for a photographer, okay? Because when you say, I'm going to save up for a photographer, what are you doing? You're waiting and you're not taking action. This is what taking action looks like. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Do you know how expensive it was for him to go to this spot?
I got some homework.
Huh? You got some homework. All of you watching this, you have some homework. Do you see how much further, how much better, how much more compelling this is to look at than the other stuff you guys are showing me?
What's this guy's name? Michael? Is his name Michael? What's his name? Who are we talking to?
Where's he at?
Miguel? Who's on the other thing? Miguel's
Miguel. Miguel Hernandez.
Miguel, make friends with a girl that is cute and tell her, hey, let's go do like a photo shoot with each other and go somewhere cool and take pictures of each other. That way she's getting involved with you, getting photos out of it. You're having someone take photos for you too. Like, make it fun. And then also put on your story that you're hanging out with this girl and doing photo shoots. How much you want to bet other girls will be like, oh, I want you to take pictures of me too. Girls love when you take pictures of them. Girls love it. Girls love that shit. If you are offering to take pictures for girls when you're out and about, girls are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to invite him because he's going to be taking my pictures all night. There, you just went from getting pictures and hanging out with girls and establishing a friendship / network.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Is it my connection
Miguel, we need you to get to a Starbucks or something with some internet. We can't hear you. So to try to get to some better internet. Okay, next time you ask a question. Sound good?
All right. That sounds good.
All right, man. Let's fix your Instagram, okay? I need to see you on the school server.
Archive all that shit. The Section 8 housing picture, everything. Archive it all.
Wait. Where did I find it?
Huh? When you hit a picture, it gives you the option to delete it or archive it.
Oh, no. Stop. No, hold on. Here. Miguel, can you see the chat?
I can see the chat.
What do you see in the chat now at the bottom?
www.school.com, men of action free.
Click that. Can you click that? I bet you can do it.
I just clicked it right now.
Okay, beautiful.
All right.
Fill out the questionnaire. We'll see you in a second, okay? Beautiful. Raj, what's your question?
What's up, Mike? Question for Jesse Preston.
What's up,
Jesse? Long time no talk.
I know.
Because I heard you got fucking married. Thanks for the invite.
I've been married. It's been 2 years. I just don't publicly tell everybody what's going on.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like new news on the podcast that you guys put out. I was like, she got married. That's why she hasn't been on the calls.
No, I stopped coming on the calls because of people like Ben. You guys get really defensive, super defensive about her. And it's like, if I'm telling you something because I'm on here and I'm giving you the woman's perspective and you guys don't want to hear it, then that's cool. Listen, the last time I was here, I yelled at somebody for saying, I want to have threesomes. How do I get my girlfriend to give me threesomes? Like, bro, I already know you're disappointing her. Why do you need to disappoint more girls?
Yeah, I remember that.
And he didn't want to hear it, but I can already tell without ever having seen him naked that the man was disappointing people. So why are you trying to disappoint extra people? Like, if you guys don't want to hear that, then don't ask me to come on here.
Guys, if a Playboy model tells you to do something, you probably should listen. That's all I'm going to say. I just want to say hi to you, Jesse. It's been too long.
I know. And my other Instagram got taken down, so message me so I can follow you on this account.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. That's all I want to say. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Beautiful. All right, let's go to the next question. It's going to be Mike Woody in Miami, Florida. Mike, what's your question?
Yo, what's up, Michael? What's up, ladies? How we doing?
Great.
Good, man. All right. So my first question is, so we talked before. I run a marketing agency where we do short form content. And I've gotten to a point where I'm in the point of like scaling my business right now, but I'm trying to transition into another project. And I've got a couple ideas, and that's like kind of related to my next question. But like, I'm curious on what your advice is on transitioning from trading your time for money to doing something that's not trading your time for money.
Well, what do you mean? What's my opinion? Like, I think it's the greatest idea you could possibly ever do in your entire life. Like, what do you want to know?
So maybe more like examples, because I'm not sure like what my next move is. I'm kind of doing research. Like, I'm looking into like drop shipping, Amazon FBA, looking into like a OnlyFans agency, things like that.
Okay, so those are the two things I would recommend you don't do. Those are the way over flooded. People are selling courses on how to do those things, And I'll tell you, it's really fucking hard to get in those two spaces. Mike, in your Miami, like you're literally going to be going up against Godwin, who's in the program right now, who has 4 clients managing an OnlyFans agency, and it's a bitch. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Right. Because the thing is, when you manage an OnlyFans agency, what problems are you solving?
Basically men's needs to jerk off.
No, you're not. No, the girl's solving those problems. You're not solving those problems. What problems? If you're an accountant, I understand. If you're an accountant for a porn star, that makes sense. You're solving a problem, but you're not solving any problem. Like these girls are like, the belief is these girls are all lazy and they don't know what they're doing and blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you also, this is the other thing. It's just my opinion. I think OnlyFans management agencies are going to be replaced by something that OnlyFans comes up with itself. OnlyFans will have like reputable agencies that they give blue check marks to. And if you go to those agencies, they take less of a fee. I think that's what's going to start happening. OF is going to start vertically integrating their own agencies to manage girls' accounts and like muscle out everyone else. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to charge like 5% and they're going to be better. So this is what Amazon FBA, the reason why Amazon FBA starts to work less and less over time is because Amazon starts to suck up that extra alpha. Amazon FBA only works because Amazon, there's certain vendors who don't know how to list their products on Amazon. So Amazon FBA works that way. But if Amazon gets better at helping those people do it, like then all of a sudden Amazon FBA just goes away in 2 seconds, just like Facebook advertising was huge for a while and then it just disappeared. YouTube advertising was huge. And then YouTube takes the alpha out of it, alpha meaning the excess profit. So I would, those would be 2 places I would highly recommend you don't get involved, right? I would recommend you actually learn a skill like copywriting or sales. I would recommend you do those things. Those don't go away. Those aren't fads. Same thing with real estate. Those aren't fads. Those don't go away. Okay.
But isn't copywriting and sales, isn't that still trading time for money?
No, because when you write a sales letter that goes out to someone's list with 6,000 people, you're specifically not trading time for money. You push send one time, right? And then money comes in. See how that works?
True. Mm-hmm.
So that's how it works, right? Also, when you do a Zoom call with 63 people on here and then another 200 watching on YouTube and then another 10,000 that are going to watch later on this week, that's not trading time for money. I'm working for 3 hours, but I'm going to get 10,000 people to watch. You see how that's not trading time for money? There's a scalability to it. Copywriting is not trading time for money. Copywriting is trading time. Like you use a little bit of time to do a scalable skill, right? The other one is 100%. High ticket sales. You are trading time for money in high ticket sales, but you make a lot of money per call when you close sales. You can also do something like selling over a webinar where now you're not trading time for money anymore, right? You can do stuff like elevator nights or the 10X conference. Now you're not trading time for money anymore. You're speaking to a large group of people. That's what trading time for money is, Mike.
Totally. Okay, I understand. So, and then like, do you have any advice on like transitioning from like where I'm at now running the agency, kind of like trading time for money? Because I'm still scaling right now. So I'm still like in the field doing shoots, editing content, things like that. But what's 3 pieces of advice that you could give me on like transitioning, going from where I'm at now to not trading time for money?
Yeah, the first thing I would tell you is go into the free school group and go through the book list and get through every single book on that book list.
Okay. Yeah.
That'll take you 6 months to a year, and you won't have any of these questions when you're done. When you finish,
I got this one.
Oh, that one's good, but that's not going to help you with your business. That's a great book, but it's not going to help you with your business.
Okay.
And also, I'd recommend the audiobook. Ty Buchanan just put the book list right there. Do you guys see it? The book list is in the chat right now.
Yep. I'm opening it right now. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. And I guess my last question is, sorry, what were you going to
say? When you go through that book list, when you finish the $100 million offer, all the Russell Brunson's books, all of the books by Jordan Belfort, and all the other books about selling that go through there, whatever, you're going to understand. You're going to have a way better understanding of like where the demand is. Remember, dude, don't do things that solve your problem. You need to solve other people's problems. There's too many people. Now, there's a few people out there that legitimately want to run OnlyFans agencies and have the expertise to do it. And then there's a few dudes who are just like, want to be around hot chicks and get money off them. Those are 2 different things. The majority of people who want to start OnlyFans agencies, they have no business being in that industry. They don't have the expertise. They didn't go. If you had told me, yeah, man, I did 8 months of an internship for Unruly and now I want to start my own agency. Yes, I'd be all for it. You don't know fuck all about what they do as far as like getting shout outs, fucking collabs, about copying, like figuring out what captions are, what your KPI is, buying promo. You don't know fuck all about that. Maybe you do now, but initially you didn't. This was not your specialty. So this is not what I would recommend you do. Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah. My last question was, I paying attention when you were talking about Miguel's Instagram and you pulled up his. Would you mind just like rating mine, Jesse? I'd love your opinion as well.
I'd rather not, but I will, guys. The thing is, if we do this all day, we're never going to be done with this. But hold on, Mike.
Send me your page and I'll look at it.
Okay. Yeah, it's Mike __ Woody.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, Mike, is that. Okay, found it. Mike, the other problem is this, like when we do this, we look at your Instagram, understand there's a bunch of Instagrams that are up there. Have you looked at those Instagrams that are on the page?
Yeah, I mean, I know Godwin, I know Shanka. Yeah, I have looked at those.
Okay, yeah, but I would look at all of them. Okay, so this is fine, but this is not fine when this is the next photo. These two next to each other are not okay. Okay. And when I say fine, I'm saying 5 out of 10. This is not going to work. You do one of these photos, you need about 8 other. This is no way you post this and this and this. This is a grinder profile. Dude.
Oh, remember, Michael Sartain, you be nice.
Like I am being nice, bro. I'm just telling you, like, you understand heterosexual women.
There's a delicate way to say something, though. My God.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not soft. He can. Okay. I'm giving him permission to roast me right now. It's cool.
Cool. This is fine, but again, the repeated photos of the same shit over and over again. One is fine. Okay.
You could do one or do one like post with like slides.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, bro. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm not trying to be mean. Grinder profile. This is the first. This is a great photo for a grinder profile. Yeah. Women, when we look at here, I'll give you an example. Ready? So let's look at
straight as an arrow, by the way. So it's
I know, I can tell you. That's why I'm bringing it up. Okay, let's look at a great example of like a guy's profile. I'm trying to think of a good one. This is going to be Hardcore Closer. No, let's just look at Hardcore Closer. This is a really successful dude, right? So let's look at Hardcore Closer. We'll just use him as an example. Hardcore Closer shows expertise, but what does he do? He shows the people that he's with. He's got these cool photos, but he's a coach. So his is a little bit different than other people's. There he is with Wes Watson. There he is on stage. Right. He's showing some competency and expertise. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is like what Vincent does. Right. So we go to Vincent right here. And if we look at his, we see like see how this is not a grinder profile? Do you see how we're far away? We're showing what Vincent can do. We're not showing what Vincent looks like. We already know what Vincent looks like. We don't need to be so close. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look why you're confused. I'll show you why you're confused because this is what everyone else does, right? This is Lindsay Palas. Okay. Lindsay Palas, what do we see with her? Close-ups. Do you see how we see close-ups of her face and her body? Because heterosexual men, like women and men want to look at Lindsay Palas. Mike, they don't want to look at you.
Okay.
Not that you're unattractive. It's not the same thing. Lindsay can just keep showing photos of Lindsay and she's going to win. You can't, but you don't. But because what happens is men get confused by this and they start confusing the idea of like when we look at women, we can non-contextually look at a picture of their form and be like, that's attractive. I want to look at that. Women generally don't do that. I mean, unless you're Sam Asghari or fucking Mario Rodriguez or fucking David Beckham, unless you're those guys, which none of you are. By the way, those guys are not just attractive because of their form. No matter what women say, Channing Tatum is not just attractive because of his physical features. He's attractive because he's famous. That's the other reason why he's attractive. You aren't famous. You just look like a dude taking his shirt off on fucking Instagram for other men. So don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
All right.
So there's 25 different profiles on there. When you see the other profiles that have a bunch of close-up pictures and shirts without guys with, show me that profile because I'll take them off the fucking Instagram testimonial. That is not what women do. Women look at what we can do. We look at what women look like. This is just in general. This is not always the case. Women certainly will look at what you look like, but they need one photo for that. They don't need 10 photos for that. Does that make sense?
Yep. Makes total
now,
sense.
when gay men look at other gay men, they want 10 photos of close-ups. They want to see abs and your face and your ass because that's what gay men are looking for in men. But that's the thing. We're confused because we think that women look at us like we would look at women, and it's not the same thing. Make sense?
Makes total sense. Yeah, I'm straight as an arrow. So I appreciate the advice. This
is why when women send guys boob pics, we're like, oh, that's cool. And when women send women boob pics, girls like, oh, that's cool. And then guys think, oh, that's what they want. Let me send a picture of my dick. And everyone's like, that's fucking weird. Because women don't look at us like we look at them. Mike, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Got it. And you have a profile where you think that women look at you like you look at women because a girl told you were hot once. Still doesn't matter. She thought you were hot because contextually, whatever was going on, you were attractive to her. But it wasn't just your physical form.
Is that your girlfriend in the background?
No, not mine. My roommates.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, ask her what she thinks about your profile, but never mind.
Yeah.
No, I'll still get her advice. It's cool. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it makes total sense, bro. I
Starting from
appreciate
scratch, though. You're not starting from scratch. You're not like at the bottom of the barrel, like bad, terrible. It just needs sprucing.
Yeah.
You need sprucing, and you need.
Well, yeah, and my background is photography, so it's like I have all the knowledge of like cameras and shooting and all that stuff, but more of like the social aspect of doing that stuff is kind of like it's still new to me. You know what I mean? That's why I hop on these calls and ask you those questions. That's why
It definitely wasn't uninteresting. It wasn't uninteresting. If I looked at your profile, I would take a minute to look through it, but I'd probably exit out sooner than I should if you had more content like what Michael was saying.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'll go through those Instagram profiles. I appreciate the advice, bro.
Go through all of them.
Yep, I'll go through all of them right now.
Got it. Okay, awesome, man.
I got you,
Michael, I gotta head out to dinner soon. So does anybody else need anything from me specifically?
Does your boyfriend know about it? I mean, your husband?
Where you at?
Yeah, okay,
Hello?
he knows. Okay, cool. Beautiful. I love
Anybody else for specifically me?
it. Hey, guys, just start. If you have a question for Jesse, just start talking.
Michael, I might have a question to Jesse. I know this question might be a little repetitive, but I've been following, all the Instagram examples that you give me, and I just want to ensure that I'm actually on the right track.
Okay.
I can just share my Instagram.
No, Tout. So we got to stop doing this. You have the school server, and you're going to ask the guys on the school server for their opinion. Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're never going to be done, and everyone's going to do this. Guys, step one, I need you to go to the MOA forum, and you need to, on the MOA forum, look at all of the Instagrams on there and make yours look like those. And then number two, you're going to ask the guys on the forum, does this look acceptable or not? Before you ask me. Got it? Before
if
you ask.
Still looking for a female perspective, like message me on Instagram, and I'll look at it. If you're still
perfect, yeah, look at Jesse.
Huh?
Perfect, Jesse.
Yes.
Oh, Jesse. Oh my God. We've been kicked off of YouTube.
I've been wanting to look at Kaylee all the time, but she keeps running away.
Yeah. Kylie, Jesse's trying to look at you. You keep moving away. Jesse's putting her face in your boobs, babe.
Ooh, yes.
Okay. Do you understand contextually how everyone wants to look at Jesse and Kylie, but no one wants to look at us?
Good.
Please understand, it's just not fair, guys. It's not the same. Men and women are not the same. Okay. No one wants to look at us. But here's the thing. When some shit goes downstairs and someone breaks into the house, they want us to grab the shotgun or the baseball bat. Yes. But they don't need to stare at us on Instagram. We're different. Does that make sense? You guys need to grasp that we're different. A lot of times, really good-looking guys, they start thinking that the world looks at them like hot girls. They don't. They don't look at you like that.
No matter how good-looking you are, we are not looking at you sexualized that way either.
Yes. Please understand that, guys. Please. It's really hard for a lot of dudes to grasp that. Okay, awesome. Tao, keep going with your question. Do you have any other question besides looking at your IG? Because we can't do that. We can't do everyone's IG. We're giving away free audits on the school forum right now, on MOA forum.
Okay. I'm in the paid MOA forum, but
perfect. You can do it there too. Have everybody look at it. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Once you do that, then bring it to me after, and also do that on a Tuesday or Thursday call. All right. If you're already in MOA. Okay. Got it?
Gotcha.
Because not 99% of the time when people ask me, hey, look at my IG, 99% of the time it's not good enough for me to look at it. Have other people look at it first. Got it?
Okay.
Love it. Sergio, what's your question?
Hey, Mike. You've piqued my interest when you've talked about options trading. I do have a working knowledge of puts, calls, selling premium, all that stuff. What would be a good resource to get started?
I would look up the whatever the intro to options course is on tastytrade.com.
Okay.
And also, we sell premium. We don't buy it. We never buy options to open.
Say it again. What was the
tastytrade.com? Just look for any intro course. It used to be called Options 101, but I think they've changed the name.
All right. Then my next question is, do you get different rates of return if you're doing like your personal account trading versus doing, like you said, you trade others people money, other
no,
people's money?
it's usually pretty simple. I'm pretty conservative though. I buy a lot of fucking SPY shares, and then I just trade off of, like, I might sell calls above the SPY shares, like covered call situation. But I mean, just for a little bit more alpha, I might do that.
Okay. And then I've seen like the gal that you talked about, the older lady that's a super trader. I've seen her on featured on Shared and Mentoring. Is that a good resource too?
I would stick with Tasty Trade for right now. It'll take you a year to get through all the Tasty Trade shit.
Got it.
Okay.
Thanks. That's all.
Love it, man. Let's go to Mark. Mark, what's your question? Mark, you still trying to steal my girlfriend?
Huh?
Are you still trying to steal my girlfriend, Mark?
No.
Okay. What's the question?
I was going to say is that I realized I taught myself not to care about something so much that I become too principled and too stoic. It's like I no longer care that I've had a girlfriend, I've not had a girlfriend in over a year, even though I would like to care. I'm like the Russians getting sent to Ukraine who don't care that they will be killed because they're expecting it, and so on.
What matters is what action are you taking, Mark? It doesn't matter like how you feel about one of the things that's unfortunate about this program, or it's not unfortunate about the program, but it's unfortunate for a lot of people who join it, is you guys think that we're going to give you a solution and then tell you how to feel about it. We're not. We're just going to give you a solution. Okay. How you feel when you are dating the woman of your dreams, making $1 million a year, that's none of my fucking business. When you're in shape and you're making $1 million a year and you're dating the woman of your dreams, however you feel about it, if you got to go to therapy after that, that's on you, pimp. But for me, my job is to get you to those 3 points. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as your stoicism is a great idea in that I don't think that people should be so expressive in the beginning of a relationship. It's hard to give value unless you have value. A lot of dudes are like, go up to women and tell them their whole life story. It's a little too early. Make sure she likes you first. Okay. So that's the thing. But as far as the stoicism or not stoicism, did you do something, Mark, to go get a girlfriend? Did you work on looks, money, status? Did you work on health, wealth, relationships? Huh?
I'm getting out to more events and so on and things like that.
Okay.
Then there's other problem with that is I look like crap if people take photos of me in public and it doesn't work out well. So I have that to deal with. Even if I dress up nice, I have problems with like lights affecting in my face, or my bangs will fall in my face, or things like that, and so on.
I mean, these are not really big problems, man. Like you can work, you just have to like man up enough to get over the fact that your bangs are in your face, dude.
Yeah.
You know, you have fucking grandparents that probably fought in some war where, you know, people were trying to kill them. They're not worried about fucking bangs in their face. You can get over this to take some goddamn pictures. Mark, there's like a low level of toughness that is necessary for this course. There's a level of durability. You have to exceed that low level of durability. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't say I'm not going to take these pictures because of X. Say I'm going to take these pictures or I'm going to die.
Yeah.
That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
Right.
So like I should put up pictures showing status, even though they might not be the best pictures then.
No, just use FaceApp or Facetune and edit them.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I see. Thanks.
Social media, rule number 4, social media is fake, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make excuses why MOA won't get to 8 figures. I say MOA is going to get to 8 figures or I'm going to die. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it. Beautiful, man. Love it, Mark. Alejandro, what's your question? Alejandro? All right, cool. James Snodgrass, what's your question?
Oh, hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, so I had a couple things I wanted to add because, you know, I see that you're doing all this for free and I appreciate it. And it's a godsend to the manosphere that's dealing with the swamp, you know. And I saw a couple teachable moments here tonight. Number one was that guy, Ben. And I wanted to come on and tell Ben, if he's still listening, about I was basically him when I was your age. And I went to my doctor and my doctor told me my testosterone, you know, he was listening to the symptoms like, oh, you got ED, you got fatigue, your skin is all messed up and you're sensitive to sunlight. and let's check your testosterone. Comes back, check this out, it's 267, and the normal range for the lab was 264. So my doctor's like, oh, you're normal. So I went online.
God, damn, man. Damn.
Yeah, I went online and learned all about this. Oh, and by the way, my estrogen was undetectable. Now, for people who don't know, like especially guys who don't know what estrogen does, it's responsible for memory and joints and things that are very important for men. And you don't need a lot, but you need some. And I was undetectable.
Yeah, I had my estrogen level so low at one point, I was getting like joint aches. Yes, you can go too low with estrogen. A lot of guys have this thing that estrogen just makes them feminine. It does not. You need estrogen in order for your bones to regrow. So you do need estrogen for things. But when you have high levels of estrogen, now it's like, where's my fucking girl? Fight. You want to fight people. You jump to conclusions. You act super fucking insecure and overly emotional, like a woman who's pregnant. That's essentially what happens.
Yeah. And I would add that the decline is very slow in men, and it's not noticeable to you. But then you come on this show and everybody else is like, dude, it's noticeable, but you don't notice it because you've been going through the decline for 20 years. And now you're at a point where a doctor's telling you you're normal, everything's fine, but you really need to get the levels. And maybe a men's clinic is better at assessing those other things, because a general practitioner won't. They'll just go off what the lab says, and the labs are going off of, oh, that's normal for a 90-year-old diabetic man to have those levels, so we're going to call it normal and tell these 45-year-old guys, 50-year-old guys that they're normal, when they're actually, there is a physiological problem underlying what's going on with their lives. So that was kind of the teachable moment that I wanted to share my story on. The other one was, okay, so you're big on evolutionary psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're into like the next phase of like red pill. We're kind of like beyond Rollo at this point with what you're teaching. It's like we're dealing with Instagram, social media, the digital era. And we're kind of like, I know you say, oh, okay, well, do you want to do what 100 guys did before that worked? Or do you want to sit down and understand it? I want to sit down and understand it, because I think, you probably have it all worked out, and I'd be interested in hearing that. And that's like a teachable moment there.
Okay, so the reason why that's a problem is because when you sit there and try to understand it all, you get to a point where you don't take any action. You're allowed to ask these deeper questions once you get through the first four steps. Does that make sense? Like, you don't need to, you want to know something? I almost guarantee you that if I went to fucking Dan Marino and said, Dan, can you explain the Coriolis effect to me? He'd be like, no, I really can't. And yet Dan Marino has thrown for fucking 20,000, 30, 40,000 yards in the NFL by throwing spirals. You know what I'm saying? Dan, can you explain centrifugal force to us? No, I can't explain it to you. Yet somehow he's able to throw a football. What's more important, James, is that you take action, then understand it later.
Yeah, I understand that for the program, but as an author, I'm trying to, pick up the pieces and say, okay, this is where.
Then do it after. Did Neil Strauss write the game and then go become a pickup artist? What did he do first? What did he do first, James?
Not familiar.
He became a pickup artist first and then wrote the game.
Okay.
He did the things first and then wrote about it. As an author, Neil Strauss is a famous author. Got it?
Okay.
Did Dan Bilzerian write a book about throwing parties and then throw all the parties? What did he do first? He threw all the parties first and then wrote about it. He took action first. Did Jordan Belfort, did he write a book about how to do sales and then snorted all the fucking cocaine and then had sex with all the prostitutes? No. He did the crazy shit first. He took the action. Then he wrote about it. James, take the action first, then write about it.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting what you're saying and why you teach it that way. And I'm past that point. Like I've done all that. And so
I don't think you have, James. So if I go to your Instagram right now, it's perfect.
I don't have Instagram. I don't use social.
Okay, James. So by definition, you weren't even past step one.
Hey, Yeah,
no, that's not true. That's not true. I have like a beautiful wife, kids.
Okay.
I have a private life, and I don't need any of that. I'm
For
dealing
sure
with the authorship part, but
okay.
I'm trying to get the down to the brass tacks of it. And
But James, so can you show me a book that's a bestseller that doesn't have an Instagram? You want to show me one?
50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, so 50 Shades of Grey doesn't have an Instagram, according to James. Everybody ready to see James' expression?
Okay.
James, not only do they have an Instagram. Hold on, can you see my screen here? James, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There's over 100 Instagrams they have, James.
Okay. Are any of them official, or are they just grifters?
There is an official one, and that one doesn't get as many. Like the official one gets a ton too, but there's also an official one for the books, and there's another official one for the movies, and they both have blue check marks. James, there's no such thing as a best-selling author who doesn't use Instagram. There are none.
Okay, I get your point. You've made your
James,
point.
You want to know there's even fewer best-selling authors who don't use Twitter. There's none.
Okay, I get your point. My final teachable moment. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to tell Kylie that props to her on her outfit. Looks much better than in the past. Like, I don't know which show it was on, but it's really on tonight. It's a good look for her. And then the final point was you keep mentioning that you have this problem with flat earth theories and things. And I was going to just mention that you could probably find a curvilinear space where the earth is flat.
You can find there's a space where the earth is flat right now. It's the hardwood floor beneath me.
Yeah, but
on a short enough timeline in algebra, when you measure a curve on a short enough timeline, it's just one angle between 2 points. Sure, you can find anything. You can find flat. That's the point. You don't see the earth is curved until you get to 50 miles up.
Right. So just throwing that out there to just kind of like get a little laugh out of you.
Oh, got it. No, Sean, you need to read that book I mentioned. He talks about actual conspiracies in the book. Sean is like, no, you should read. Yep. Sean, you of all people should read that book. Sorry, I'm talking to Sean in the caption.
Yep, thanks.
Awesome.
Right, I'm
cool.
done.
James, any other questions?
That's it. Thanks.
James, if you want your book to be published and to be very famous, you are going to have to go on podcasts and be on social media. Sorry to be the one to tell you.
All right, got
it. No
exceptions.
There's no exceptions. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good, man.
I don't know.
Roderick, what's your question?
What's good with you, Mike? Just something simple, man. This is my first time being in one of these. Just looking for team building skills. Where can I go to get, some team building skills to where, I have quite a bit of influence, and I want to continue to, make the team.
Are you in Dallas?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
Oh, did you live in Southside?
Well, I'm a layer right outside of West Dallas, but I'm right back downtown.
I have a house. I had a house on White Rock Lake, and now my mom has one in Garland. All right.
Okay.
So the thing is, what I would do, the best thing I can tell you if you're not a member of MOA is you can go back through some of the podcasts that I've done with other people who were in the U.S. military. That'd be one thing I would tell you to do. The other thing I tell you is to go through the book list on the free school server, the free one, and there's a book list in there, and just go through the ones, like as far as leadership is concerned, the best one is Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. That's where I'd start. And I'd also read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I would also read The Operator by Robert O'Neill. There's several of them. I'd also read The E-Myth Revisited. There's several books that can help you with that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Mike, man. Keep doing your thing. And I consider myself a man of action. I've been doing this now for a few years, but man, keep the good work up. I'm going to always continue to support you, and anybody else that want to, get with it, man. Like, the dude is legit. So appreciate you.
I appreciate it, Roddick. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Let's go to UNICEF Malta. Yippee Zhang. What's going on, Yippee? If you got to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, are you in Shanghai right now? Where are you right now?
No, I'm in China. I mean,
where?
It's Jinan. I bet you don't know about that place.
No, I might not. No. Okay, cool. No, because I was talking the other day. I was like, I actually do have clients in China. So go ahead.
No, yeah, but there's so few of them. I mean,
yeah, but no, but somebody was asking me, what if what about Instagram? I was like, well, I do have some Chinese clients who literally can't get on Instagram. So there are some exceptions.
It's horrible. I mean, the VPN is horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things.
Hey, listen, don't let Xi Jinping. Sorry, we didn't say shit about you. We love you, Xi Jinping. Don't come after us. Chairman Mao, go ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's Zoom. Xi Jinping can't hear us in Zoom settings. So basically, I've done the MOA program for 1 year, and the thing is that the session has already ended. So now I want to I'm considering going back.
Just get in the alumni program. No, it's a great question. Get in the alumni program if you want to go back.
Yes. I mean, who do I contact?
Just Miguel or Grant. The alumni program is less expensive than the initial 6 months.
Okay, so Grant, Miguel, how do I
go or talk? Is anybody else? Is Tristan or Phil or anybody else on the call right now? Just set up another call like you normally would, and just say you want to join the alumni program.
Okay, so I just set up a call.
Just go to MOA Mentoring and set up another call like you did the first time, and then just say I want to join the alumni program. Yeah,
Michael. He can schedule a call with me. I'm
yeah, we go schedule a call with Anthony DeRico. Can you do that?
Yes, I'd love to schedule a call with Anthony.
Cool. Yeah, any of you guys who were in the program previously and you're your 6 months or your year is up, we started an alumni program. We're doing a fucking terrible job of promoting it, but we started an alumni program. We want you guys to still be in the program. You're going to be moving to the Thursday calls, and it's less expensive than your initial you joining the program initially. We want you to stay in the alumni program forever.
Okay, all right.
Got it?
So got it.
Beautiful, Yiffy. All right, I think we lost him. Like I said, Xi Jinping found out about it, and he came after him, trying to take his shit away. All right, beautiful, guys. Anyway, for those of you who are, I put the link in the chat right there for those of you who are interested in either joining the initial program, or those of you who have already joined the initial program and you're considering joining the alumni program. Just click on that link right there. And let me see if I got it right here. There we go. Copy. Actually, here's the link. Use this link instead right there. That link I just posted. Use that link, and then we will, hopefully you guys can join us on there. If you guys want to join the alumni program, just click on that link right there that I just posted. Okay. Let's go to Steve M. Steve, what's your question? Steve M.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Sorry about that. I think you and me have a shared passion for guns. And,
yes, I do.
I'm an instructor and a competition shooter. Do you have any Instagrams to suggest for those kind of picks? Because those can scare
BJ
girls.
Baldwin. I would start with BJ Baldwin. I would look at him, and then I would look at Terran Tactical.
Yeah, I know Terran, but he's Terran's got a lot of flack for the girls he puts in his stuff. So
I don't think he does. He's dating a gorgeous woman, and he fucking trains incredibly huge celebrities. I would take Terran's flack in 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, okay.
Why would you not want to be honestly, you have to ask yourself, would you really I'll show you guys.
I'm inside the industry, dude. I'm inside the industry. He gets a lot of flack from trainers and competition shooters.
No, because they're jealous. And those trainers and those competition shooters, how many of them are training Keanu Reeves for John Wick? Can you tell me which one is doing that?
I'm talking about people, what they talk about in the industry. So I get your point.
But do any of those people make more money than him? I'm just curious.
Some of them do.
You're sure? Because I'd be willing to bet you they don't. I bet you Terran. I'll be willing to bet you that Terran, because the only thing that would stop Terran from making more money is the fact that he's out in Calabasas. Terran has, as far as social media is concerned, he has that fucking scene of gun porn on Instagram. He is amongst the top in the entire world. And I'm telling you right now, the vast majority, if you were to survey 99% of people who are gun instructors who look at his shit, 99% of them wouldn't have a problem. There's a few that are going to talk to you about it, but they don't have John Wick. The other day, you see him coaching Michael Mann. Did you see how many other celebrities? The celebrities can go anywhere they want. Why are they going to Terrence? Is it because the women are so bad and he's being criticized?
No, they're going to him because he's popular in that group.
Is there not a lesson there? And like, wouldn't you want to
Yeah,
be popular enough?
I
Like,
get
look,
that.
I'm just asking you, like,
I
why
totally
is
get
BJ
that.
Baldwin buying guns from Terran Tactical? Why does Dan Bilzerian buy guns from Terran Tactical? Well, he could buy them from anyone he wants.
Dude, I get it.
Yeah,
I get your point of view, but I'm saying from where I'm in my social circles, it's he doesn't have the best.
So my question to you is, then you have to make a decision as far as bifurcation. Do you want to be with that social circle? If you're happy there, then stay there. If you want to level up,
yeah, not in the celebrity social circle. But what I'm saying is, do you have any others besides that? You said BJ Baldwin?
Yeah, BJ Baldwin. There's a ton of guys that, like, as far as gun porn are concerned, YouTube is probably as good a place as any to find that as well. YouTube and TikTok. I don't know how well TikTok deals with firearms. I don't know if they ban people for firearm accounts. Like
your students, do you have anybody doing guns in their Instagram?
No, not really. Not guns in my Instagram.
That's pretty much what my question was.
Yeah. But I mean, I would just look for whatever's popular.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope with TikTok and Instagram. So
yeah, it is. Can I jump in on this?
Go ahead.
Hey, so create 2 accounts, one for business, one for yourself. Like the whole access to scarce resources, that's where you show like the profile, like credit. Like you can be involved in the gun space because I'm in that industry too. But you're essentially got to ask yourself, like, what's the point of your Instagram? Is it to network with individuals or is it to make money? Now you can make money by networking with individuals, but it's a different target audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've got 2 already, but like I was saying, I want to put some on my
I mean, probably as far as in the gun space, as far as gun tubers and stuff like that, you got Grantham, you got James Reeves with like Firearm Blog TV, stuff like that. Like they just post videos of themselves fucking shooting. I mean, Grantham had a photo with him with Post Malone, I'm sure you've seen. And the reason he got there is because he shows access to scarce resources, which in the gun space is, really rare forms of firearms, different types of trainers, so on and so forth. Like it's a concept that they teach in Men of Action is mere exposure. Like go network with other people in your space, do content together, post it on your Instagram. And they're like, holy shit, he was training with so-and-so, he was shooting that firearm. And then that's how you're going to get that access to the status.
So I'm curious, what is the criticism of Terran because attractive women shoot at his range?
No, he's got he's in the tactical world, he's not as respected because he does have gun bunnies. They call them gun bunnies.
Okay.
And he does get flack inside the industry because of that. There was a scandal with him and his ex-girlfriend. So there's a little.
I think those may be 2 different things.
What?
I think gun bunnies and a scandal may be 2 different things.
Yeah, they are definitely 2 different things, but they are still linked with women. He promotes, in his marketing, in his Instagram, and he's gotten some feedback. Whereas people like Colian Noor, he doesn't have any women in his profile. These are 2 different ways of targeting the same group. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I understand your point. I understand your point, but I guess my question was, did you have any students who did that? You say you don't. I have one for, personal. I have one for business. But I'm trying to get an idea of what kind of, content in terms of, I can't do scarce resources in California because we have the goddamn roster. So I can't get guns and pistols.
So what I would do is, you mean you can't have certain like special guns? You can't have like a Vector or an MP5 or something like that?
I can't get pistols that are not on the roster, and I can't get so-called assault weapons. So we can't.
Can you come to Nevada and do that, and then film it, and then go back to where you are? And then just keep the girls out of it?
I could. My cousin's there, but I could do that.
That's what I would do. There's a reason Bilzerian lives here and not in California.
Of course. But I just, the question was, do you have any students that I could get a look at some of their content? But I'll look around and see if I can do, because guns scare women sometimes. I think you're a thug, especially if you're black.
I think guns turn on a lot of women too.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey man, I just think you're going to come to a point. I have 2 accounts if you want, but you're going to come to a point where you kind of realize you don't worry about what other people think, and then you turn into like you criticize Logan Paul, and then you look at his bank account, and you have a decision to make.
Right.
And so that's the decision you need to make. For me, it wouldn't be much of a decision. To me, the gun is the gun. The gun is a function of physics and engineering. The gun community doesn't mean anything to me. It's the gun itself. The gun doesn't care. You see what I'm saying? The gun doesn't care. It's almost like saying somebody's a really good race car driver. And then it's like, well, we don't like, what's his name? Jeff Gordon. We don't like Jeff Gordon because the way he drives, and he didn't grow up in the country. Jeff Gordon doesn't give a fuck. He's got money. He doesn't care. It's almost like people at Augusta being like, we don't want to let Tiger Woods on our golf course. We don't let African Americans on here. And then he just wins a major, and then he wins another major. He doesn't care. At some point, your performance is your performance, and you don't care what other people think. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's
the
why
only thing I'm saying.
I get it. That's why I've separated, because I do get, some flack from relatives and my mother and all this other shit. So
but they're going to give you flack anyway because you have guns.
Of course.
They're going to just give you flack for anything, right? So like, if anyone should be like non-judgmental, the Second Amendment community should be that group. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. But I'm not developing that I've got them handled. Now I'm talking about women and networking with high value men, attractive women, and some content scares them. Should I care? Maybe not.
You shouldn't care, because your content is so viral that there's a big enough group that does care that it doesn't matter.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah.
Gotcha. I understand that my marketing doesn't work really well on fifth wave feminists. There's not a lot of feminists who buy my content. I understand that. I've lost their market. Fuck. What am I going to do? I'm just going to work. I'm going to focus on the market that I am good at marketing to.
Gotcha.
See?
Yep.
Now I say that, I actually do know some feminists that are going to come on my show. But yeah. All right, Jalen, what's your question?
How you doing, Michael? It's been a while. Yeah. I just got a couple questions today. I'm still young as a youth and all that. Like I'm still fairly athletic. I train and I do kickboxing. Do I need to like watch my testosterone levels, or?
No, you're young enough to where I wouldn't do it. I would want to know. So I had one client who actually got like hit in the nuts by a ground ball or something like that, and like destroyed his endocrine system. Unless something like that's happening to you, it's probably not going to be a huge issue for you.
All right. Okay. Well, I was gonna ask before I turned 20, because there's like this big stigma apparently that if a guy doesn't have a girlfriend by a certain age, like he's weird and stuff like that. I was wondering, is it necessary for me to get like a girlfriend to like have that social proof around?
So I'm 45 years old. I would like someone who is in their 20s or early 30s who does not have a girlfriend to answer this question. Go.
No, it doesn't matter.
Say Liz.
Not matter.
Huh? You guys unmute yourselves and then talk. We can't hear everything you're saying. You got to talk. Anybody else?
It does not matter. Focus on building when you're young. The woman will come like in your 30s. Focus on like getting like a high marketable skill, like high ticket sales, building your business, something like that. First, focus on the gym. Focus on building up your network, and then the woman will come in your 30s. That's my answer.
Okay, so one of the things that happens is you'll notice that really attractive women, they're not one of the people pushing everyone to get married because everyone wants to marry them. It's a separate group of women who maybe had an opportunity to get married in their early 20s or before they started having kids, and then afterwards are in a situation where it's like they're not as desirable as their 23-year-old counterparts or what they were when they were 23. And so what's happening now is that those women will go on The View and other places and be like, when are men going to grow up? When are men going to step up and take care of these women? And the reality so that's sort of a false narrative that you're being taught. The other false narrative is the idea of like the lonely old man. That's not really a thing. The lonely old man is something you show on television. It's not in real life. Most men, when they're older, now if they've been divorced and they lost their kids, fuck yes, they're lonely. That's a different thing. But a lot of the whole like lonely old man thing is just a myth that people use to scare you into getting into relationships. Get into them if you want. Don't get them into them if you don't want. If you fall in love with your job or your business before you fall in love with a girl, there's nothing wrong with that. Because guess what'll happen? When you fall in love with your business and you fall in love with growing it, women will come. They will. To women, to men, women are, beauty objects. And to women, men are success objects. Okay.
It's news to me.
Sound good?
I was gonna
absolutely no one cares that you don't have a girlfriend. No one. Maybe your aunt back at home cares. No one of any relevance cares that you don't have a girlfriend.
I was gonna ask best way to get into sales, and are you hiring? I will quit my job today.
So it's gonna, we do, I think we do one sales hiring, like we have a group hiring call that we do every 6 months. You're gonna need a pretty significant amount of success and or experience to get on my team right now. We're pretty finicky about who we hire. If you did some high ticket sales for someone else for like 6 months or a year, I think you'd have a shot then. As far as getting into it, I would read and watch everything by Cole Gordon, Alex Hormozy. I would just get into all those high ticket sales guys. Just read and follow everything they say. Go down that rabbit hole.
Another thing, I was watching Adam Lyons episode. I think that's how you say his name. The guy with Ty Lopez.
Adam Lyons.
Adam Lyons. He said women want men who make them feel like how women should feel. Like, what does that mean?
I don't think it means anything. I think girls like to hear that answer. I think
well,
again, so as a woman, you listen to that and you're like, yeah, it makes me feel good. I think it was a really clever way to answer a question that had no answer by putting it back on the person asking the question. How should I feel? Really? The real question is, how should you feel? You know, he just puts it back on them. So it's very clever. It means nothing.
All right.
Yep, it means nothing.
I
think it was a great answer. But in reality, if you have a woman that's like, she confuses like violence for love and she likes to be beaten by her husband, then a man should make her feel threatened and beaten. No, it's a stupid answer. The answer is there is no answer. For everyone, it's different. Right? It's like almost like saying, what is your favorite type of ice cream? That's for you to answer. It's not for me to answer. Right?
Yeah.
Got it?
I said, I know you're a big statistic guy, and when I watch the podcast, you always say like 3 standard deviations. I've never studied that. What does that mean?
Okay, so if you look at, let's just pull up normal distribution. Stand by. Normal distribution. Let me find a good photo for it. Is this a good one? All right, we'll use this one. All right, do you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Do you see it on the right? There's the bell curve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a standard deviation is like it's +1 or -1 sigma. So do you see in the middle? This is this is anything that you account for. So this could be people's height. So this middle standard, this right here in the mean would be like 5'10". This is the median height for North American males. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And over here, we're 5'11", or then 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2", and then we're like 6'3". We're over here. Like right here, we're at 6'3". Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then right here, we're at 5'8", 5'7", 5'6". And then there's not a lot of men who are 5'2". They'd be like right here. See that? Okay. So if this is the mean, then outside of 3 standard deviations would be out here. This is the guy who's 7'1".
Damn.
Okay, so do you see this is 1 standard deviation, 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma. Those numbers in a normal distribution are pretty much set. 1 standard deviation is 68.27%. 2 standard deviations is 94.5 or 95.5%. 3 standard deviations is 99.7%. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's how it works. That's what it means. But you can make decisions based on this. Like you'll find that like which cars are the most durable. You're going to find that there's a couple of cars in here. There's like a bunch of Toyotas that are right here in the middle. And then there's a bunch of Mercedes and Lamborghinis out here. See what I'm saying? Most, when you take a normal distribution, meaning you have like a large sample size or a set of whatever statistics, you're going to find that they end up being in a bell curve. Height, income, stuff like that. You're going to find like, so the median income would be, let's say $37,000 a year. So we talk about the top 1% make 400,000. So 400,000 would be about like right here before 3 standard deviations. These are people who make 400,000, and up here would be people who make 36,000, and right here would be people who like make no money at all. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the standard deviations would work.
All right.
Got it?
What's that part of math class? Thank you.
Beautiful, man. Awesome. Sangani?
Hey, Michael, how's it going?
What's happening? What's your question?
My question is this. So I'm currently building a website for my boss. And my question is building websites / like creating content, like either video editing, photography for professionals, like say lawyers, doctors, engineers, like a viable like business to scale? Or do you think it's a better use of my time is stick with this, build the website for my boss and use this as a training ground to develop one of these skills, especially, and then use that as like make a business out of that?
Yeah, I would do both. I mean, I would just do both. I would like learn the skill set by doing it for other people and then do it for yourself.
Okay, yeah, I mean, because that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure, like that was like
Grant, the guy who does our back end stuff. My partner Grant, who does the back end stuff, and the guy who like builds our funnel or whatever, he was doing it for like he was learning from other people. Then he did it for himself later.
Okay, perfect, awesome. All right, then that means I'm on the right track. And then also, real quick, we talked about the 3 body problem last time, so I just want to ask: did you and Kylie start the actual series yet on the TV show?
No, we have not started it. I don't know if Kylie wants to sit through the Chinese subtitles. I'm gonna watch the first couple episodes and then see if she'd be into it. I don't really like Kylie's hasn't read the book right now. She's reading some other books, but like that's really in-depth shit. Like the end of that book, that book series is like, holy fuck, man. It just goes so far down the rabbit hole. So I love it. It's great. I think it's the second best science fiction I've ever read next to The Expanse, but it's really good.
What other fictions do you recommend? I know you like Game of Thrones, but I'm looking to see if there's any others.
The Martian. So The Martian, Artemis, and Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I actually also like, I mean, I don't know if it's science fiction, but I would, the Ernst Cline's Ready Player One, Ready Player Two. But the Hail Mary by fucking Andy Weir is one of the best books I've ever read in my life.
Ready Player One. Did you like the movie Ready Player One?
It was good. It wasn't as good as the book. The book is like one of the 5 best pieces of fiction I've ever read.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think last time I was on the free MOA plan, but I just joined the program actually like two days
Beautiful.
ago. Yeah, happy to be here, man.
Welcome to Fight Club. We're gonna jump you in later. Some guys are gonna show up and put a mask over your head and start hitting you in the face with a fucking sock filled with soap.
I've actually been doing boxing with one of the guys, with my friend who's also on the free program, and I do jiu-jitsu. So I'm ready, man. Let's go.
Get ready for the soap party, buddy. There we go. Awesome. Welcome to Fight Club. Welcome to Fight Club. Awesome. Alejandro, what's your question?
Sorry, I missed that last time.
You gotta unmute yourself, man. You're really quiet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, sorry I missed that last time. I was actually on a call as well. So my question is, how do you show access to scarce resources without access to scarce resources? And there's a context for this as well. So here's the context. I realize that one of the steps you employ is fixing your social media, which is obviously useful in a variety of ways. However, there is only one problem that I really see here. And it's that fixing the social media does imply that you need to post access to scarce resources, but many of the people starting out here probably might not have that kind of access without paying full price. Like, for example, going to VIP places, having access to cars, getting rentals, whatever it is, right? So
there's your answer. It's on the screen, by the way. Go ahead.
See, and that's exactly what I was going to say is like the solution that I've come up with was just going to places that are really cool and trying to get there by myself.
Yep.
So
that's it.
Okay. So I'm guessing that it's like essentially you're starting off as a travel kind of person. And then
you're just a cool guy. Like I know it's really hard, but Jamie or Jesse was trying to explain this. Women would rather fuck this guy. Just because he's just down to do cool. He's taking a risk. He climbed up on some abandoned fucking building and got this amazing photo. You know what the scarce resource is, Alejandro? Adventure. That's the scarce resource. Impulsiveness. Bravery is a scarce resource. Leadership qualities is a scarce resource. And the fact that this guy has fucking triceps and fucking biceps that are that big is a scarce resource. Look at his calves. Those are all physical fitness is a scarce resource. 75% of men in the United States are obese. Gotcha. These are the scarce resources. It's not just money and access to the VIP. Okay.
Gotcha. That's literally it, man. Thank you.
Beautiful. I love it. Awesome, guys. Thank you all for joining us. For those of you who join MOA, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's my favorite day. It's a huge call. We're getting to the point where that call is getting too busy. Thank you guys who are in MOA for holding your questions till tomorrow. We want to let some of the new people on. Again, if you are not part of Men of Action, can you put a 1 in the chat real quick? If you are not part of Men of Action, can you put a 1 in the chat for me real quick? If you are not part of Men of Action, I want to give you guys all an opportunity here. Good. Got a couple of you put a 1 in the chat. I love it. Awesome. I love it. Okay. For those of you who are not part of Men of Action, there's a link right there for people. We have a special for people who are on this Monday call. You stayed to the end. I appreciate it. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Click the link right there and you can join us. You can set up a call. You don't have to join the program. You're going to go to a setter and the setter is going to decide, hey, you know, maybe this program's right for you. Maybe this program's not right for you. There's so much free stuff that you can get if you don't join MOA. Not to mention like all the live calls that we post. This Monday call is going to be up on YouTube. All of the Access Vegas episodes, all of the episodes of all the episodes of the Michael Sartain podcast, and the literal hundreds and hundreds of interviews that I've done in the interview section on my YouTube channel. You guys can check all of that out for free, along with the school server for MOA Forum that is completely free, where you guys can see Instagram testimonials, the entire book list, the first 4 steps of Men of Action, and the 6 rules in Men of Action. Those are also in the free MOA server, so you guys can do that. Now, if you do decide you want to join, I will tell you, this is a great time to join. We're about to start up the biggest bikini competition in the world. I have a meeting with Tal Hakasan tomorrow. I'm the host of the Spy on Vegas. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, take that back. Last year, it was called the Playboy Presents Yandy Summer Search. This year, we don't know what we're going to call it, but it is the biggest bikini competition in the world. And guys, it's not one of these things where you have to be a member of MOA to come to this. But if you are a member of MOA, we give you preferential treatment at some of those things. Also, we're going to be hosting, we're going to be taking some people out to Jamaica for Paradise Challenge. There's a bunch of stuff that we're doing. Plus Vegas Immersion is coming up in a couple months. There's a ton of stuff. But the main part of the course is one-on-one calls with me, one-on-one calls with the coaches. We have a Tuesday call, a Thursday call, and a Sunday call that you get on. And we also have the total protocol, the classroom part of it, which is 114 modules of Men of Action content that you guys have to go through, along with all the Q&As. That's what you get as part of the Men of Action program, plus multiple other things. You guys get access to all of our lists, and you get to be part of the brotherhood because we all help each other throw events. And if you guys are interested in that, please click the link there, sign up, at least sign up for a call and figure out whether or not you guys are interested in doing this program. I hope to see you guys on the Tuesday call. We're super excited whenever we see new people join. We've been quadrupling the company about every 8 months, every 12 months, we've been quadrupling in size. So at some point, these calls are going to get too big. And also, there's a lot of guys that are sort of like ghost following us, meaning they join the program and then they watch the recording so they don't come on the live calls. It's important you guys come on the live calls. Probably the most important thing you guys do is come on the live calls. I will see you all in 2 weeks. On the 16th, we're doing Access Vegas. Me and Rollo are doing Access Vegas with 5 more girls. We haven't picked who the male guest is. I'm not sure who we're going to have. It might be Bunny Fufu. It might be Davrick. I'm not sure. My guest next week on the podcast is going to be, hold on, let me see if we can put her up here. My guest next week on the podcast is going to be Jordan Sky, Battle Sky. She is, I've been wanting to have her on for a while. She's been living here for a while. She's a pretty big model here in Las Vegas. So she's going to be the guest on Wednesday. After that, I've got Bunny Fufu coming on. It's going to be a really interesting story with him. He is a League of Legends, like a world-class League of Legends video game streamer, but he's decided to take a bunch of women and start filming him playing video games naked with a bunch of women on OnlyFans. That's going to be my guest in 2 weeks. That's going to be it's a really interesting business model I want to ask him about. I've got Rebecca Barrett, who was on with me of Valuetainment. She's going to be coming on. And then I also have a divorce attorney that I've got coming on here pretty soon in the future. So those are pretty exciting. I've also got Ryan Pownwell. I don't know how you say it. The guy who,
Pownell.
Yeah, Pownell. He's coming on. He's going to fly out here with Bree Stern, and they are going to do an episode of the Michael Sartain podcast. He's the host of Pillow Talk. He's going to be on there with me too. So we have a bunch of cool guests coming up. Plus, we're always waiting for David Goggins to stop by or whoever else. We got a bunch of other people that we hope to have on pretty soon. Yeah, the divorce attorney is coming on. He's a fan of mine, so we decided to have him on. We're going to have him on via Zoom. So if you have any questions for that, we will let you know. One more time, on the 16th is Access Vegas. On the 18th is Babes in Toyland. On April 1st is going to be the Bunny Ball. On May 20th is going to be Babes in Toyland in Miami. And then in June, we're probably going to have Babes in Toyland in Los Angeles again. Guys, I will see all of you guys in MOA.